Snap my star fingers, you'll pull into the nearest Hardee's and order the Monster Angus Thick Burger. Feed your happy.
Available at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
For everything that's happening, with analysis that's free and fair. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Don't miss a minute. Download the radio.com app or stream the station live anytime through your smart speaker. The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Perhaps in order to maintain a comical delusion so well documented, their only recourse is denial. It never happened. Krugman's lucky his employer will indulge his madness because it gets clicks. And their constant drumbeat of illegitimacy created a moral imperative for Trump's removal by any means necessary. 25th Amendment, impeachment, election fraud, which is why America sees the media for what they are. What's the word? Oh, yeah, illegitimate.
Welcome into the Annie Frey Show, and it has just occurred to me, I don't know if you heard us talking yesterday about Dawson's Creek and Gilmore Girls or whatever, but Greg Gutfeld's monologues are the Dawson's Creek vocabulary of monologues and cable news. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're good. He's smart. They're really smart. And I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta take notes on this. What is he saying? Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, and now I missed the next point. It's just great. He's so spot on. And I know that some of you hate him. Katie, you like Greg Gutfeld?
I do, but I know one Tony Colombo is not fond of the guy.
What about you, Ryan?
I don't think he's that. I like his commentary. I don't think he's that funny.
Well, and I like him for his commentary, and I enjoy when he is funny. I don't listen to him because I want to laugh. I listen to him because I really, really like his perspective. I think it's really grounded, as opposed to some other people I feel are like just flailing in the right wing, wind, or the left. Like you go to a Juan Williams and you go to a Jesse Waters on the 5. You know what you're going to get. I don't always know what I'm going to get from him, and I really appreciate that. But it does make me think of watching Dawson's Creek. But at least he's a grown man talking like this, and he's not 15.
Yes.
See, there's a difference, right?
It's believable.
It's believable. We're going to dip in right now to the White House press conference. It just began, and we haven't been hearing a lot from the White House. There is a ton going on, so let's get them first, and we will react immediately after. Katie, go ahead.
At other government-deemed essential businesses. Justice Gorsuch in the ruling said this as he rolled back Governor Cuomo's restrictions on places of worship. He said, quote, "It is time, past time, to make plain that while the pandemic poses many grave challenges, there is no world in which the Constitution tolerates color-coded executive edicts that reopen liquor stores and bike shops, but shutter churches, synagogues, and mosques." Behind me, you will see displayed images of Democrat hypocrisy playing on loop. These images depict the following. They show Governor Gavin Newsom of California dining both maskless and indoors at the fancy French Laundry restaurant, despite severe lockdown restrictions against indoor dining for the very people he governs. You'll see Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot celebrating in the non-socially distant streets of her city. You will see Speaker Nancy Pelosi indoors at a hair salon in San Francisco when salons in California were only open for outdoor services. And you will see CNN's Chris Cuomo staging his emergence from quarantine in a made-for-television moment, coming out of the basement. And this was after Cuomo was spotted breaking his brother, Governor Cuomo's quarantine rules to go for a bike ride in the Hamptons. Also notable is San Francisco Mayor London Breed, who followed Governor Newsom's lead in dining at the French Laundry with a group of 8 people. And finally, Los Angeles County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl dining outdoors at her favorite Santa Monica restaurant after voting to ban outdoor dining at 31,000 restaurants throughout LA, calling outdoor dining a most dangerous situation. Quite clearly, these Democrats do not follow their own edicts. They act in a way that their own citizens are barred from acting. Governor Cuomo's decision to impose restrictions on the size of religious gatherings was rebuked by the highest court in the land. But what was Cuomo's response? Instead of showing deference to the Constitution, he attacked the legitimacy of the court. Governor Cuomo said this: "You have a different court," and I think that was the statement that the court was making. "We know who he appointed to the court. We know their ideology." Well, in fact, the ideology of those on the Supreme Court who made the decision to support the First Amendment are in favor of freedom, the Constitution that survives even during a pandemic. This statement from Governor Cuomo strikes at the heart of the issue. Democrats seek control. These images behind me make clear Democrats' mindset. Rules for thee, but not for me. The president stands with you, your freedom, your ability to decide how to best protect your health. We all know how to protect ourselves from COVID-19, wash your hands, socially distance, wear a mask. But as one federal court put it, there is no pandemic exception to the Constitution. And with that, I'll take questions. Welcome back, Kristen. Good to have you back.
Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to ask you about comments that the Attorney General made to the Associated Press. He said, quote, "To date, we have not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election." Given that, why hasn't President Trump conceded?
So first, he went on to say this. It was in an AP interview where he made that initial comment. But in that same AP interview, he went on to say that he thinks a lot of people are confusing the use of the federal criminal justice system with allegations that should be made in civil lawsuits. And he discerned the fact that he said, quote, "There's a growing tendency to use the criminal justice system as sort of a default fix-all. And the campaign's litigation is all civil litigation, which is apart from something that the DOJ would be involved in."
Follow up with you on that of more than 40 cases that have been brought by the president's legal team. The majority have been denied or dismissed. The election results have been certified in all of the battleground states. Does the president still think he has a path to win?
The president has said that he believes all legal votes should be counted and all illegal votes should not be counted. And in fact, the campaign is pursuing that litigation. I can't get into the details of that litigation here, but they still do have active cases in Nevada and Wisconsin.
But how does he overturn the results when they've already been certified in these battleground states?
Again, the president is just looking for every legal vote to be counted, and I will leave it to the campaign to pursue their end.
Does he have faith in Attorney General Bill Barr? Does he still have confidence in Bill Barr?
The president, if he has any personnel announcements, will be the first to know it. Yeah. We'll go for Janet.
Thank you. 2 questions. Has the president then spoken to Attorney General Bill Barr since these comments came out yesterday?
I'm not aware if they've spoken. I know the Attorney General was here yesterday for a pre-planned meeting with the Chief of Staff, and they discussed an array of issues, but I'm not aware if the president has spoken to him directly.
Has the president considered any preemptive pardons to any of these kids? Has he talking to Attorney Giuliani about this?
I've heard no mention of any pardons in any conversations I've had in the White House other than the pardon of Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, a 3-star general who I've discussed from this podium before, who had his life ruined. He was a valiant hero who served his country both on the battlefield and then came to work in government. And what happened to him was there was an FBI note that said they wanted to get Lieutenant General Michael Flynn to lie. There then was a criminal leak of his identity and a phone call he had. He was told no lawyers were needed in the discussion the FBI was having with him. FBI investigators then after said they did not think that Lieutenant General Michael Flynn was lying, but yet he was still pursued in an unjust manner. And the government failed to provide the original FBI 302s from that interview. It was an egregious miscarriage of justice, and we're finally glad that justice was served for a war hero, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. David.
Is the president planning to announce his 2024 candidacy in a formal event here at the White House before January 20th or even on January 20th?
I've not heard any discussions of that. I'm aware of the reporting, but the president's campaign is currently pursuing active litigation, and that is the focus, at least at the moment.
You heard his comments last night. It sounds like he's planning to run again. Do you know if that's a fact?
I haven't spoken to him about that again. His campaign is pursuing litigation. I would redirect you to the campaign. Yeah. Yes.
Mark Meadows has been meeting with Commissioner Hahn. What is being discussed? And also, did the White House get a heads up that the UK was going to be approving the Pfizer vaccine?
I'm not aware of any heads up that we were given. But what I will say about Dr. Hahn is it is par for the course for the chief of staff to meet with him as we're trying to save American lives with the vaccine in record time. In fact, 2 vaccines, not only a vaccine in record time. You heard Moncef Slaoui say a vaccine normally takes anywhere from 4 years to 25 years. He said that in an interview last week, and this was in 10 months. It's remarkable progress, but we still want to make sure that it comes as fast, as expeditiously, but as safely as possible, because we know by that each day that passes, there are more American lives at stake. So we want to make sure it comes out as quickly as the data allows it to. And we will have 40 million doses by the end of the year, which is a tremendous achievement, not just to have gotten a vaccine in this time, but to have produced 40 million in advance. It's having a businessman as president. It's the Trump vaccine. Yes, Justin.
Thanks. I had a couple policy things, but first I just wanted to go back to what you said about personnel. Right before the election in a rally, the president suggested that he might fire Dr. Fauci after the vote had happened. And so I was wondering if you could comment on what Dr. Fauci's status is and if you have any.
Yeah, I've heard no discussions of that. Dr. Fauci is still hard at work on the task force.
And then there were 2 things that the president mentioned as policy goals that would happen before the election that we haven't seen any sort of obvious progress on. So I wanted to check in on those. The first is the $200 Medicare prescription drug card that was supposed to happen before the election. It seems to have sort of vanished. So I was wondering if you could give an update on that.
Let me follow up with the chief of staff on that. I haven't heard any current discussions about it, but I will follow up with you.
He had also promised an immigration order, an executive order on immigration that would protect dreamers. Again, he promised that before the election. Do you have any other?
He put forth many different immigration packages on HB1 visas and others to protect American workers. I'll circle back, but there were many iterations of immigration EOs prior to the election.
Is that work progressing at this point, or have you sort of thrown in the towel?
I think right now the focus is making sure that there is stimulus relief for Americans who are hurting right now. So that is the current active policy priority that we are working on moment by moment, along with COVID. Yes. Yes.
Kaylee, as demonstrated by the large red ribbon out around the White House, yesterday was World AIDS Day. The president issued his proclamation yesterday, but consistent with his previous 3 proclamations, omitted any reference to LGBTQ people, even though they bear the brunt of HIV/AIDS. The president included a reference to racial and ethnic minorities, so why not LGBTQ people?
The president honored World AIDS Day yesterday in a way that no president has before, with the red ribbon there, and I think that he commemorated the day as he should have.
Yes. There's no reference to LGBTQ people.
Charlotte, go ahead.
I wanted to ask about Section 230. Is President Trump willing to allow a government shutdown over that in the National Defense Bill?
The president has made clear the importance of 230, and I would point you to his tweet about how that pertains to the NDAA. One thing I would say, when you look at 230, just to explain for the American public exactly what that is, it's essentially a shield that is given to social media networks because they claim to be the public square. But in the case of Twitter, Twitter has become a publisher, choosing to fact check certain content. And when you're a publisher, there are certain responsibilities with that. You should not be immune from liability. And when you look at what Twitter has done on the Ayatollah Khomeini, we were just looking at his Twitter account before coming out here. And just a few weeks ago, the Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran tweeted, quote, "Why is it a crime to raise doubts about the Holocaust?" Something not worthy of a flag by Twitter, which is despicable when you think about it. Also, the Ayatollah has tweeted that Israel is a deadly cancerous growth that should be uprooted and destroyed, something that Twitter did not deem worthy of flagging or blocking in its entirety. And in fact, Twitter executives defended that move in front of the Knesset. This is a very important issue, one that there's even bipartisan agreement that something needs to be done. So the president will be unashamed in fighting against that kind of vitriol that we see and very hateful language that Twitter is publishing. Kristen.
Thank you, Kaylee. Just one more question about Section 230. The Democratic chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, he put out a statement essentially saying that these two things are not related, Section 230 and something as big and important for our national security as the NDAA. So I just want to be clear here, is President Trump seriously considering and talking about vetoing the NDAA over Section 230?
Yes, the president is serious about it. And I noted, when you have other world leaders that are making calls for genocide and Twitter not finding that worthy of flagging or blocking. Beyond that, you look at China, who's putting out disinformation. China tweeted out, I believe it was 6 days ago, I think it was November 25th, that COVID-19 did not originate in Wuhan, something that was not deemed worthy of flagging by Twitter. There are real grave concerns here, and the president stands by that. And it also is worth noting that the president will always defend our military, ensure that we get adequate defense funding, as he's gotten $2.9 trillion so far, but he is going to put the pressure on Congress to step up on this.
And one more question about Attorney General Bill Barr's comments. I believe you said that you're not sure if President Trump and the Attorney General have spoken since he made those comments. Was that right?
Yes, I'm not sure if they've spoken.
But can you at least tell me, was President Trump upset when he heard the Attorney General say that he has not seen or the DOJ has not uncovered evidence of widespread voter fraud enough to overturn the outcome of the election?
I haven't spoken with the president specifically about AG Barr or that comment. And I would also just point everyone to the revised or the supplemental, I should say, not revised, comment that was put out by AG Barr in the wake of media reporting that seemed to misconstrue his statement. He said that some media outlets have, not he, I should say, the DOJ spokesperson, some media outlets have incorrectly reported that the department has concluded its investigation of election fraud and announced an affirmative finding of no fraud. And that is not what the AP reported, nor what the AG stated. I think a lot of the media didn't read beyond that one comment to the civil part versus the criminal part.
Well, I think maybe the discrepancy is, you have members of the Trump campaign coming forward and saying that there is hard evidence of widespread voter fraud enough to overturn the outcome of the election. And then you have the nation's top law enforcement officer, the Attorney General, saying if there is, he hasn't seen it.
Well, the Attorney General was speaking to what has come before his desk. And again, I'd point you to the campaign for specific questions on this, but I would just say generally they are pursuing civil litigation, which in fact the Attorney General explicitly said some of this is meant more for civil litigation, which is what the campaign is currently pursuing. Kevin.
Kayla, is the president seriously considering skipping the inauguration?
I'll leave that to the president to make his announcement. He tweeted something to the effect of he knows what his decision is and he'll make his decision at the right time.
Rationale could he possibly have for skipping?
I'm not going to speculate on the president's decision. I'll leave that to him to announce it.
One follow-up. There was a report yesterday on federal officials investigating a potential bribe for pardon scheme. Has anybody at the White House been questioned by federal law enforcement officials regarding potential bribes for a pardon?
No, and in fact, a DOJ official said yesterday that no government official was or is currently a subject or target of the investigation disclosed in this filing. Yeah, Andrea.
So thanks for taking my question. I wanted to ask about FBI Director Frey. Though it looks like President-elect Biden wants to keep him in the job, does that change the president's perspective on FBI Director Frey, and does he retain full confidence in him? No, I have just a quick follow-up.
Yeah, he's made no assessments, and at least in my presence, about that. And if we have any personnel announcements, we'll let you know.
Okay, great. Can I just follow up on the vaccine issue? You said 40 million doses. I recall the president saying, and perhaps even you saying, that you were looking for 100 million doses by the end of the year. That 40 million is quite a bit short. So can you just clarify that number
So there are currently 6 vaccines that we have identified as vaccines that we were hopeful would come to fruition. And with several of those, if not each of them, I can follow up with you on the exact number. We have manufacturing contracts. We have manufactured doses with several of these, but they have to come to completion. So with each new vaccine that comes, along with that will come millions and millions of doses that have already been manufactured in time. But currently, of the 4 vaccines in phase 3 clinical trial, Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Janssen, 2 of those have gotten to the point of applying for an EUA. So really, it's incumbent on the manufacturer and those going through the phase 3 clinical trial to get that data to us, and then it's manufactured and ready to go. So the moment someone else gets to a 94% effectiveness rate or whatever the barometer is, we will have those doses. Yes.
So Kayleigh McEnany from the White House press briefing today. I haven't had a lot of these lately, a lot of questions about what the president is going to do, especially with personnel. And she took all of those pitches and said she wasn't going to get ahead of the president. So, but a lot of interesting things as well, especially that opening little monologue she had there with props. She had photos of all of these Democrats who are shutting down their cities and their states and not following their orders. We're going to talk about that when we come back, because it's probably getting under your skin like it's getting under mine. Stick around, more Annie Frey Show in just a few minutes.
How many times must we tell the tale?
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
If the two of you got through 2020 together, you can get through anything. Shane Company's got the largest selection of unique engagement rings in every price range. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law, the place to go when it's time to get that estate plan taken care of. Or it's possible that you had it taken care of years ago and you have maybe forgotten kind of what's in it. And maybe you've had some circumstances change in your life, in your health, in your relationships, and you need to get another look at it. If you haven't had an estate plan looked at in 3 years or more, or if you've never had one done to begin with, you can go to Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law and schedule a free consultation. Here's the phone number to call. If you can't call them right now, just punch this into your phone, save it as Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law, and give them a call when you can. 636-946-7899. That's 636-946-7899. They can also help you plan for long-term care, and they can also help you access veterans benefits that may have been a bit difficult for you to access on your own. It's a shame, but that's why they want to be helpful. 636-946-7899. Find them online at beckelderlaw.com.
I started gymnastics when I was 5. I had my first knee surgery when I was 10. I had 2 more knee surgeries when I was 13. And I had another when I was 14. I had lost hope. Then I had surgery at Mizzou Biojoint Center.
To see if MU Healthcare's Mizzou Biojoint Center is right for you, visit biojoint.com.
Get a pen because you will want to write this number down. If your health insurance is making you sick, Tom Yakapin at New Era Health Plans has the cure. Open enrollment is here, but you don't have to enroll in a government plan. You have options. Call Tom at 855-296-4500. That's 855-296-4500. New Era Health Plans now has the new exciting Gold Health Plan. Unlimited teledoc at no charge. Low inpatient deductibles. Any doctor or hospital. Tom is an expert with over 30 years of experience. He has helped small businesses, self-employed, small groups, and people paying too much for Obamacare or COBRA. Tom will help you understand your options. If you meet the flexible guidelines for coverage, New Era Health Plans will give you the best coverage for the best rates. Call 855-296-4500. That's 855-296-4500. Or go to newerahealthplans.com. That's newerahealthplans.com. A quality plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Attention St. Louis homeowners. Are you looking to sell your house without all the stress? Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can buy your house cash and close on your timeline. No commissions, no repairs, no appraisals, no showings, no headache. Call Chris now, 314-782-7000, or go online to chrisbuysHomesSTL.com to get a free no-obligation cash offer for your house. Behind on payments? The tenant stopped paying the rent? The house needs too many repairs? Not a problem. Chris buys houses in any condition and deals with any situation. There's a reason why Chris Buys Homes is the most trusted home buyer in St. Louis. Go online to get your offer today. chrisbuysHomesSTL.com or call 314-782-7000. That's 314-782-7000.
More people are landing on 97.1 FM Talk every day. It's St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective. 97.1 FM Talk, the place for ideas.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Very glad that you spent some of your Wednesday afternoon with us. If you're out and about right now grabbing some lunch, I want to remind you that you can take us back to your desk or your kitchen or wherever you are going to be headed back to and listen to us on radio.com. You can also watch the show on the Annie Frey YouTube page and the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. I'm about to post a picture of my Christmas tree, which is up in the stand but not decorated. It is not decorated. We have taken a step in the direction of holiday cheer, but it didn't get done. And I'll be able to explain a lot more of this later, but it has been quite a process. So I'm going to share the progress. And I feel like if I share the progress with you, I will bully myself into having to finish it hopefully tonight. And I told my kids, we have these hot chocolate bombs from Seams for the Soul Boutique. And I said, what we're going to do is we're going to get the Christmas tree up and we're all going to have hot chocolate around the Christmas tree and we'll do a Facebook Live with it. And they're like, oh, yay. And so they thought that's what we were going to do last night because I told them that's what we were going to do last night. And then it didn't happen. So it's got to happen tonight. So you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe to the Annie Frey Show YouTube page because that's where we will do that live. You saw at the beginning, or you listened to at the beginning at least, of Kayleigh McEnany's press conference right there. And you see the person after person after person who has been putting out these edicts of shutting down and limiting and locking down people's livelihoods and like immediately going against their own declaration. You have to ask yourself, do they believe what they're saying? You know, if you really think of it, the hypocrisy of it, the idea that they would tell you to behave a certain way and then exempt themselves from having to behave that way. There are two concerns that I have with that. One is that they're not doing as they say. But the second thing is, which is worse to me, if you should do it and it's for your own good and science and all that stuff, do they not believe their own science? Do they believe they're actually exempt from the science that is going to affect you? That would be a scientific breakthrough. Maybe we should spread some of that around. They're all Democrats. And of course they're all Democrats because the Democrats are the only ones that are locking folks down. But when you see governor and mayor and county executive and supervisor after supervisor after supervisor saying, this is what you're going to do. And I understand this is going to be hard, but it is for your own good. It's what you tell a child when they don't understand how to make good decisions for themselves. That's what they're doing to you, but they're not following their own advice. So my question is, do they not actually believe what they're saying? Do they not actually buy into what they're saying? And if that's the case, what the hell are we doing here? Why is any one single person's job being affected by these rulings that are being made by these rulers for us to follow, but for them to not? I'll tell you what, J.B. Pritzker keeps telling people to follow the law. You might want to go through some legislators if you want to call it a law. And you might want to tell them to come back to Springfield to get something done. But no, you haven't done that because COVID, of course, you shut that down too. It's not a law. It has to be made by lawmakers in order to be a law. I mean, Ryan, do you believe these folks just, do you think that they just think they're exempt from it? Or do you actually think that they're like, well, I can be careful enough. And they think that it's maybe not as bad as they're implying to the rest of us, morons, that it is as bad as they say it is.
I think they just think that highly of themselves, that they think that they really are above everything, including, like, there's the masses and then there's me, and I can do whatever I want. The problem to me is that if a conservative politician came out, we voted for him and they were pro-life, and we found out that they were having a fling on the side and they forced somebody to have an abortion, we would demand that there be justice for that person. In fact, we've probably had situations like that. Those people do not last. Where are Democrats right now calling out the hypocrisy in these leaders? Because we can call it out all day. Yeah,
they're in
exactly.
Texas. They're in Austin, Texas right now is where they are. But I mean, like, even if they think that they're not, even if they think they're not, if they think they're better than that, scientifically speaking, they still have to assume that what they're saying is in the realm of possibility. If coronavirus is as bad as they're saying it is, I mean, you'd have to think that they are. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Katie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that this all has to do with money and power. I mean, you mentioned yesterday Cardi B had to send out an apology saying, oh, I had
What's a Cardi B? Okay.
She is a rapper.
It's a form of pain.
She had to send out that apology saying I had 36 people over at my house for Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, guys. Like, please don't judge me or whatever the hell it was.
Don't be sorry. Either do it in the face of what's going on or don't.
Yes. Like she didn't know. Like, oh, I hadn't heard about the Thanksgiving thing.
But
there's a virus?
I think that's it. You guys nailed it. These people don't think that they're going to get caught because money and power usually has their back.
So you just said these people don't think that they're going to get caught. That's different than what I thought you were going to say is these people don't think that they're going to get sick and die.
No, it's caught.
And so, okay, so maybe that's where we land on this, because you've got businesses right now, and I'm hearing we've, especially in the last 24 hours, the three of us have heard some very interesting stories about people in the bi-state region who are like, nah, screw this, we're good. We're gonna keep on keeping on. And I love these stories, and I'm not going to talk about them on the air because I don't want to draw attention to them in a way that negatively affects them. But are we worried about getting sick and spreading a global pandemic that's going to kill our grandmas and grandpas? Or are we worried about getting caught? Because those are two really, really big differences. Don't you think?
I think that they look at them and say, well, statistically, I'm doing this for the good of everyone, but just little me, I'm not going to be affected by it.
But you're still at a restaurant that somebody still has open with other people in it. You're sitting next to people without masks on. You aren't different than we are. This virus is non-discriminatory. I remember at the very beginning of all of this, when we didn't really know anything and it started to get really scary, was talking within my family. Because I remember 9/11 very, very well. I was a senior in high school when it happened. That was terrifying because there was somebody out there you felt like you were being hunted for who you are, for what you were, or what you continue to be. That was terrifying. What's scarier? That, where you feel like, I could find that person and I could eradicate that person and I could neutralize that threat, or a virus that is out there that is looking for the next closest thing to attack. And at that time, we thought, destroy. We didn't know who. I remember looking at my kids going, what am I going to have to experience as a mother here? Like, you guys are staying in here and I'm going to follow you around with bleach. Like that. I didn't know what to think. What's scarier, a non-discriminatory virus or friggin' Osama bin Laden? And I didn't have the answer to that. These people are ruling their constituents, which you don't get to do in America. They're ruling their constituents as if the pandemic is non-discriminatory and is coming for you. It's just not coming for them. And Americans don't like that crap. And you can see it all across the country. People are starting to say, yeah, I'm not so sure about this. I'm going to fly my American flag and I'm going to go make some money for myself. Peace. Peace. Let's talk about it more throughout the rest of the show. When we come back, Chris Farrell with Judicial Watch is going to join us. Judicial Watch, they do these FOIA requests and they get stuff and then they tell the world about it. Records show that the Obama DHS scanned the Georgia election sites in 2016. What does that mean for what we're dealing with right now? Judicial Watch, Director of Investigations, Chris Farrell, when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. You're not the only one working more from inside your home, so is your HVAC system. If your system needs service, Air Comfort Service will promptly and safely be there for you. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
You have been hearing the phrase, others can't compete with Complete. So just exactly what does that mean? Well, at Complete Auto Body, they are the leaders in the industry and always strive to be the best. They offer touchless service, and they are proud to offer pickup and delivery to any of their services. Your safety is the utmost importance to them as they sanitize their shop several times a day. They are also offering $50 off any repair, big or small, for any new customers, even if the repair is $49. And then it's free for our first-time customers that require our auto body collision repair and or our mechanical service repairs. Lastly, while we repair your vehicle, don't worry. We have you covered with our loaner cars for only $9.99 per day while the car is in repair. To put it simply, they offer the complete experience. This is where they show you Complete's mission. They are a family and will serve you as if you were one of their own. With 5 convenient locations, others can't compete with Complete. CompleteAB.com.
Drafty windows probably a little more noticeable these days since it's been quite chilly outside. Is it time to replace those warped windows that you've had, these vinyl windows that are probably standard issue for your home when it was built? How about Infinity Windows exclusive to Lakeside Renovation and Design? The first thing I'm going to tell you about Lakeside Renovation and Design, which is their most popular option, is to employ the 18 months interest-free financing for your home project. So if you want to replace the windows, maybe you just want to do the main floor, maybe you just want to do a few rooms at a time, check out that 18 months interest-free financing. It makes it very affordable for you. Now, why Infinity Windows? Because they're fiberglass replacement windows, which means they're 8 times stronger than vinyl. They are going to be resistant to leaks, seal failures, and stress cracks. These are all things that affect your energy efficiency in your windows. They're also, let's face it, going to be safer for your home. Ask them about their 18 months interest-free financing when you call 636-978-5000. Find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com.
An unprecedented year like 2020 calls for an unprecedented holiday offer from Diamonds Direct. So, for the first time ever during December, we're allowing 4 years zero interest financing on anything and everything. It's our way of helping you make her holiday one to remember. Just pick any beautiful piece of jewelry, take the price, divide by 48, and that's your payment. A $4,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $84 a month. And we have the gifts women love. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstones, all new fashion jewelry from top designers. And of course, the largest selection of engagement rings and certified diamonds in the country. After all she's been through in 2020, now's the perfect time to let her know how much you love her. Reward her with a gift that is romantic, timeless, and symbolic. And with 48 months zero interest financing, you can afford to splurge. Diamonds Direct, helping you make that magical moment this holiday season. Shop online at diamondsdirect.com or in person in our showroom. Diamonds Direct.
Olive and 270 at City Place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Looking for the perfect present? Then head to the perfect place. Stop by your neighborhood Ace and find the best gifts from brands like Steel, Eagle, and Milwaukee, or Traeger, Weber, and Yeti. And to help make sure your gifts are under your tree on time, you can shop in-store, online, or on the Ace app. Pick up in-store, curbside, or get them delivered. Get amazing deals on the best gifts when you wrap it in red at Ace at participating stores.
Dell Technologies has announced their Cyber Monday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SP Cyber Monday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Facts presented fairly. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Stream the station anytime at 971talk.com or download the app for your phone at radio.com.
Your yelling's getting loud. Keep it down now. Keep it down now. There's talk going round this town. Keep it down now. Keep it down now. Noise is closing in from all sides, warning all the ways to die. They say you better give up, you better give up.
We are going to present evidence of real voter fraud. Thousands and thousands of instances in voter fraud in Nevada alone. By 5 o'clock today, that will be submitted to the court. And we have instances, for instance, of 40,000 plus people who have voted twice in the election. That's real voter fraud. We have data showing that people who were on the record as having voted by mail didn't even receive ballots and say that they didn't vote.
So that's Trump attorney Jesse Bernal on a Nevada lawsuit. And people keep saying there's no proof, there's no evidence. Actually, I take that back. Some people aren't saying anything about it at all. They're pretending as if it's not even there. Judicial Watch. There are some folks who are always working. Judicial Watch is always looking in corners that other people would just rather you not brush the dust off those papers. They send out FOIAs like it's their job, because it is, and they get stuff from it. And it's always fun to find out what treats that they have for the American people, because what they do is they present documents and they present truth. And it is very hard to find folks doing that in this day and age. That's why we welcome onto the show Chris Farrell, the Judicial Watch Director of Investigations, today to talk to us about some records that they found that show that the Obama DHS scanned Georgia election sites in 2016. Chris, a pleasure to have you on the show. What can you tell us?
Great to be back with you. Thanks. This is actually an old story, but it's made relevant and newsworthy because, surprise, surprise, as you just mentioned, we actually got records and documents detailing what happened. And this is a case going back to 2016 when Homeland Security, a cybersecurity element within Homeland Security, was out scanning various state election sites, and they went in and attempted, it looks like some sort of an intrusion or a scraping of Georgia's Secretary of State voting section. And it was detected. Georgia reacted and sort of said, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Get out of our website." Anyway, all this is documented, about 240 pages of material, and it's a back and forth as to what they were doing and how they were detected, et cetera.
Chris, why? What are they scanning for? What are they looking for? What can they do? And why is it illegal?
Yeah, well, it isn't necessarily illegal. There's a lot of people waving their arms and screaming about, cybersecurity and the need for our elections to have proper internet and cybersecurity, electronic systems security. And that was the guise under which Homeland Security was conducting their activities. Homeland Security Inspector General did a report. and said that they had looked at the Georgia site, but they only were looking at the public side of their website, that they did not conduct a penetration or an intrusion operation. But this set everybody on edge and said, "What are you doing, and why are you trying to get into our election site?" And they didn't just do it in Georgia. There were other states that had scans or evaluations done by the federal agency, Homeland Security. Some detected it, and frankly, some didn't. So it's very interesting to see that years ago, Homeland Security was doing this kind of activity. And of course, it makes people wonder, well, if they can get in, what were they doing? Can somebody else get in? Maybe they embedded something. I mean, it just raises a ton of questions.
So when it raises these questions, what does Judicial Watch do next with this information? Where do you go to question the people who might have those answers? And you got to go to court. I'm sure people aren't just lining up to give you all the information that you want. What is the next process with this type of revelation, especially in the context of what we're dealing with right now?
So job number one is what we're doing right now, and that is we are educating the public. We are making it known. We get all the records and documents. We put them on our website. We make them available to everybody. We do media presentations as we are now, whether it's television, radio, internet, whatever. We get the information out there so that we have an informed, educated electorate, so that they understand, hey, this has been going on for years. I've been at Judicial Watch going on 22 years now, and I can tell you back in 2000, yours truly, along with my colleague, were the ones who got access to the ballots in Florida. So that the hanging chads and the dimpled ballots and people examining that was also us. That was Judicial Watch. We started that entire thing. The rest of the world came running in behind us and turned it into the big media sensation everyone remembers. But that was another case where we used public records to get access to ballots. And so the public has got to have confidence that these elections are for real and that they're not rigged and they're not being gamed or, twisted around in some way. And the only way we're going to get there is by asking tough questions.
Chris Farrell is on the phone with us, Judicial Watch Director of Investigations. Chris, this revelation, or at least to us, I know you said it's not brand new, that the Obama Department of Homeland Security was scanning the election systems of Georgia and some other states. What does that mean for right now? And I know we have to deal in facts here, not theory, but what does it mean for 2020?
Well, it opens the door to the question of, the reliability and the security of these systems. Obviously, there's a ton of people out there that know all about Dominion as one of the voting systems, and there's questions about the security of that system and how it could be manipulated in some way, or how people could gain access to it or change votes. And at some point, one would hope that the American public would take its voting seriously, and that they would demand a legitimate, valid, authentic means by which every state conducts its elections. Not doing a one-size-fits-all, not demanding that, Iowa behave the same way as New York does, but that we have some sense that our elections are accurate, fair, complete, and that the tallies we get are legit and can't be messed around with in some way. And so maybe if we raise the temperature, maybe if we get people to pay attention, maybe, 2024, we'll get this right. And we won't have the contested situation we have now and people running into court and asking, government lawyers in black robes, those are judges, right? Yeah. Well, they end up asking government lawyers in black robes for permission to win an election. That is craziness, right? We need to have legit elections that stand on their own and that we have faith and confidence in, and not, running to mommy and daddy to please save us if we don't like an election outcome, regardless of who you support, Democrat, Republican, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Chris, real quick before we go, only got about a minute left here. You said we need to get this fixed by 2024, specifically in Georgia. What about January 5th of 2021 when we have these two Senate races? I mean, gosh, if Trump, for someone like myself, who is a Trump supporter, a Republican voter, a conservative, if Mitch McConnell gets to retain his majority in the Senate, I will sleep a lot easier in a Biden administration than I will if those two races go to the Democrats. Are we confident in Georgia's ability to maintain propriety in January?
I'm not. I mean, look, and your worst case scenario, I'm speaking for myself, my own personal opinion, my own personal beliefs here. If the Senate swings over to the Dems and he's got a full House, he's got the House, the Senate, and the executive mansion. You want to see, add another S to USA. It's going to be socialist states of America. It'll be crazy what's done. So I'm surprised, frankly, that there isn't a little more activity and energy and campaigning and motivation about, this entire voting question. I think a lot of people are sitting on their hands and kind of shrugging or saying, oh, well, if people have a real interest in what the outcomes are and what the future of the country is, I sure don't see a lot of energy, and that's really disturbing to me.
It is frightening. Chris Farrell, Judicial Watch, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you again soon. Grateful for Judicial Watch being out there doing the detailed minutia that gets us real factual information. We're going to take a quick break right now, and when we come back, Deroy Murdock's going to join us. He's going to talk to us about the Obamas. Buckle up, folks. Deroy, when we come back.
Selecting a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you will make heading into retirement. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money every Saturday morning at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Choosing a financial advisor is a critical step in planning for your retirement. You want to find an advisor you can trust is working in your best interest with the experience to do the job well. Providing guidance solely in your best interest is foundational to our team's approach. And with over 90 years of combined experience, you can have confidence we have the depth of knowledge to help you navigate important financial decisions. If you're retiring in the next 5 years or need a second opinion on your current plan, contact us today for a free consultation. To schedule your free retirement planning consultation, contact us at bobstockdale.com. That's bobstockdale.com. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Del Walmsley here. The first thing you're going to have to learn is until you stop expecting the politicians or anyone else to change your life isn't going to change. The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
You could be on your way to a better lifestyle and experience the life of your dreams. Tune in to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Weeknights at 7, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you are looking for a home warranty, please check out my friends at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. You know, that maintenance part of their title is extremely important. Most home warranty companies out there want to deny your claim due to lack of maintenance. They claim you haven't been taking care of your equipment over time, so they don't have to help you out. Well, at Upkeep, they completely eliminate that worry by sending their own technicians out to your home 4 times a year to do the general maintenance for you. And if you ever need service done, they will either repair or replace your equipment, and that work is also being done by an Upkeep employee. It's not a third-party contractor trying to upsell you. Their plans are extremely affordable. You can even divide your payments up over the 12 months of the year. And when you use code DGS, you get $100 off your service. To check out all of their different home warranty plans, go to their website, upkeepstl.com. That's upkeepstl.com.
As a patriot and a mechanic, I know the difference between a symbol and a tool. The American flag is a symbol of everything I'd die to defend. My mask is a tool. It says nothing about my politics. I wear it to protect the people I love from COVID-19. We have a job to do, and a mask is the right tool for that job. Use the tools. Mask up and keep your distance. Brought to you by the Coalition for Healthy Missouri Communities.
KFTK FM Florissant, K254CR St. Louis, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk, a radio.com station.
The quarantine rules are changing. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The guidance from federal health officials is being dialed back from what had been a 14-day recommendation for anyone exposed or potentially exposed to COVID-19.
Quarantine can end after 10 days without a COVID-19 test if the person has reported no symptoms, or after 7 days with a negative test result if the person has reported no symptoms.
CDC Incident Manager Dr. Henry Walk, but it's still up to states and schools whether to follow the new guidance. The CDC is also urging people to stay home for the holidays, but says anyone who does travel should be tested before and after the trip and follow the quarantine recommendations. Congressional leaders are trying to find common ground on COVID relief by the end of this week. Fox's Jared Halpern is live on Capitol Hill.
Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says the president would sign a targeted relief bill proposed by Senate Republican leaders earlier this week.
And we look forward to making progress on that.
But Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says the offer from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, totaling about $500 billion, falls short.
The Republican leader should not waste the Senate's time on another inadequate partisan proposal.
House Democratic leader Steny Hoyer told reporters he has spoken with McConnell about coronavirus relief and is hopeful an agreement can be reached by the end of the weekend. Lisa.
Thanks, Jared. McConnell's proposal is separate from a larger bipartisan plan unveiled yesterday. Next week, the FDA holds its first hearing on a COVID-19 vaccine. Today, that same vaccine from Pfizer won its first approval in Britain, which is hoping to begin the first shots within days. It's the first rigorously tested COVID vaccine to be approved worldwide. Russia was criticized for approving its version in August before advanced testing, which still isn't finished. America is listening to Fox News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies, 48 will do it for the high. The evening is dry, a little bit of light rain and light snow after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. 32 for the low, borderline temperature. So whatever we see is not going to be much. Thursday, when we wake up, still a little bit of light rain and light snow around, but just don't expect much out of this. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies on Thursday and 42. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Guys, 2020's been a rough year on everyone, and that includes your wife or girlfriend. So spoil her this Christmas by treating her to some rest and relaxation with the world's softest pajamas, exclusively from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts for nearly 20 years. She'll love the way the world's softest pajamas feel, and you'll love the way they look. They're silky smooth on the outside, soft like a baby bunny on the inside, to wrap her in warmth and comfort all winter long. Just the ticket for melting away her stress and helping her to relax and restore after a long day and year. And right now, when you order today, you'll get a great deal. Free gift packaging. That means you don't have to wrap a thing. Get her the world's softest pajamas and get your free gift packaging today before this deal disappears. Just go to pajamagram.com. It's fast, easy, and delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. That's pajamagram.com.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. I've been warning our clients that IRS employees are back at work since mid-July, and their collection efforts have ramped up. Well, sure enough, it looks like it's happening. So if you have unfiled tax returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Tax resolution plans are based off your current income. So if your current income is less than normal due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this is precisely the time for the Lance Drury Law Firm to help you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is available in 3 different spots. You can check them out in St. Charles County on Main Street in Old Town St. Peters, at Mid Rivers and Highway 70. You can check them out in West County on Olive Boulevard, just a mile off 270 West on Olive. They're also located in Darien Prairie. If you're looking for flooring, Michael's Flooring Outlet is going to be the place that's going to deliver you the quality, the value, and the customer service that you expect and that you deserve. Whether you're looking for waterproof flooring, which they have a whole boatload of this stuff that they purchased in bulk so that they can pass on savings to you, or you're looking for a great carpet, a Mohawk Smart Strand, a Forever Clean Arrow, and Revwood Plus flooring, they can help you out with fantastic deals on this flooring right now. Check them out online at michaelsflooringoutlet.com. You'll see the carpet, the vinyl, the hardwood, the tile, the laminate, whatever you're looking for your residential or for your commercial place of business. Check them out right now online at michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
You can ask your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk for information with perspective. Although you don't have to say all the tagline stuff. Just say, play 97.1 FM Talk. Powered by Dell Technologies. Call 877-ASK-DELL. The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I guess you can use a snappy slogan like defund the police, but you know you've lost a big audience the minute you say it, which makes it a lot less likely that you're actually going to get the changes you want done. But if you instead say, let's reform the police department so that everybody's being treated fairly, divert young people from getting into crime. And if there's a homeless guy, maybe we send a mental health worker there instead of an armed unit that could end up resulting in a tragedy. Suddenly, a whole bunch of folks who might not otherwise listen to you are listening to you.
First of all, if you send an unarmed healthcare worker into a situation like that, it's not necessarily not going to end in tragedy. Let's just start with that point. It could still for the healthcare worker, depending on what the situation is. And Barack Obama, why is he out here saying all this stuff now? Defund the police is a snappy slogan. Well, that's really easy and comfortable to say on December 2nd, after a summer of hell that this entire country had to go through, after an election that took place. Now he's got something to say? Strange. Must be very... Oh, he's selling a book. Never mind. Now I get it. Now I get it. Deroy Murdock, he joins us each and every Wednesday. It feels like it's been a long time, Deroy, since I've been able to talk to you. I hope you're doing well. What do you think about the book tour that Barack and Michelle are benefiting from here, and all these opinions that they can just comfortably say when it seems as though there's really no consequence?
Yeah, Annie, good to talk to you. I think you were on out of town last week, and I was out of town the week before that. So. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah. Good to talk to you again. You bet. Yeah. Well, again, this is a magical mystery tour on the part of Obama and his wife peddling their I guess she's done one book. This is his third autobiography. So we hear people say, "Oh, President Trump's a narcissist." Well, here we have got a man who's now on his third autobiography, and he's not even, I don't think he's even 60 years old yet. So you tell me if that's narcissistic or not.
A box set down the line here.
the Barack box set. There you go. Just, well, I guess they would probably be about maybe 1,500 pages if you had them all together, something like this. The latest book, I think, is 762 pages. I think it is, something like this. And I speculated the reason that Joe Biden hurt his foot. I guess he's broken some bones in his right foot. He's probably reading Obama's book, and it fell on his foot and broke it. Rather than embarrass Obama, he blamed it on his dog, Major, the German Shepherd. So I think that maybe is what happened there. But yeah, you're right. They're out running around spouting their usual opinions. And Obama's saying that the only reason Trump got 74 million votes is because of all these angry white men who voted for him. Assuming all the angry white men voted for him, I think it comes out to about 32 million, 35 million, something like that. So there are about 40 million people who voted for Trump who are neither white nor male. They're either minority or female. So somehow I guess maybe those people also identified as white male on the day of the election. I mean, so this is ridiculous and absurd. And he also lashed out against Hispanics and said that the only reason Hispanics voted for Trump is because he shares their views on gay marriage. Well, this is kind of interesting. I looked up some stats on that, and to my surprise, the figures were even stronger than I imagined. According to a group called PRRI, they look at religion and politics. 68% of Hispanic Protestants favor gay marriage, and I almost fell off my chair when I read this. 78% of Hispanic Catholics favor gay marriage. And by the way, Donald J. Trump also favors gay marriage. So Obama is just completely pulling it out of thin air when he says that President Trump believes something he doesn't, and then accuses Hispanics of believing the same thing, which they don't. So it's just, again, more bluster and nonsense and falsehoods, if not outright lies, out of Obama. And I think what's most frustrating about all this sort of thing, and Michelle talking about what a hateful country it is, and that's why Trump got as many votes as he did. These people run around talking about this country as if it were some sort of a mecca of bigotry, as if this were South Africa during the days of apartheid or something like this. Last I checked, I could be wrong, I should go back and look at my American history books, but I think Obama was elected president with about 53% of the vote against a white man. And then in 2012, he's reelected against a white man with 51% of the vote. And this is such a racist country. How is it that he and his wife spent not 4 years, but 8 years in the White House and got in there pretty comfortably? And these days, if you ask YouGov, they do surveys on this. Obama and his wife are the number one most popular man and woman in the United States of America, and also the number one most popular man and woman on the planet Earth. So rather than grumble and complain and grind their molars, these two ought to be grateful. They'd be thankful and thank this country for all the generosity and support. Not me and maybe not you, but many tens of millions of our countrymen have shown them over and over and over again. Obama sold 1.7 million copies of his book in the first week. Michelle Obama sold 10 million copies of her book. It's still selling so well in hardback that they've not launched a paperback edition yet. So these two ought to show some gratitude rather than the endless, spectacular Olympic grade ingratitude, which we seem to see out of them every time they open their mouths.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Deroy. It seems, at least at a minimum, like you'd want a spokesperson to have a little bit more credibility than somebody who was elected twice going around saying how much prejudice and how little opportunity there is.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to hear that from maybe a 19-year-old gangbanger who dropped out of school and is in jail for whatever reason, maybe he's got a real beef. They have no reason to complain. In addition to the tremendous political success I mentioned and their successful books, and I think they're worth, I don't know if it's $25-30 million, maybe more. They've got a beautiful home in Martha's Vineyard. I think they've got a big house out in Palm Springs. They've got a nice house in Washington, D.C. Anytime either of them wants to say anything, the cameras come running and people come to jot down their every word and every comment and every observation. They're not my cup of tea, but they're still a cup of tea for many, many, many people. And if this were the bastion of hatred that it is, you would think that white folks would want nothing to do with them, and they would be on the run and in hiding, given their high profile. It's exactly the opposite. And frankly, if this were such a racist country, why did either honestly or through some interesting shenanigans, one or the other, 80 million ballots get cast on behalf of Joe Biden and his running mate, who last I checked is a black woman, not just a black person, but a black woman. If this is such a racist country, they should have lost in a landslide. And as it was, we'll see what the litigation and the recounts and the legal appeals show. But as of now, they look like they're well positioned to be sworn in as president and vice president in January, unless several judges and other folks come to our rescue. But if this were really such a racist country, it should have been good night, Irene, for both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on election night. And that's not the case as of December 2, 2020.
Fox News contributor Deroy Murdock on with us right now. I want to ask you about, the legacy that Donald Trump will leave behind, let's just say for the next 4 years, because who knows if he's not the president for the next 4 years, if he'll run again in 2024. So much is up in the air. We don't know. But the way that the media has gotten away with branding Donald Trump as a racist. We listened to the words of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and really indicating that the danger in even the existence of Donald Trump as the president of the United States. It just says things. People talk about dog whistles all the time. Oh, it's funny to me that the dogs are the ones who hear the whistles, and it's always the leftists who are calling out the dog whistles. But when I think about how Donald Trump is going to be looked at outside of his presidency, I feel as though he is going to bear the burden of this branding that the mainstream media has put on him. But we've seen him do so much for minority communities in his administration. He had a lot more that he wants to continue to do. How do you feel like this is going to shake out in the history books with Donald Trump and what he was able to achieve as president of the United States?
Well, I think, unfortunately, people who write history books tend to be more on the left than on the right. Hopefully there'll be something done about that over the years. But they'll continue to say that he's a racist and that the Trump years were years of bigotry and on and on and on and on. Well, if that's the case, why did he do so well as he did with black voters? According to the exit polls, his support among black folks went from 8% in 2016 up to 12%. That means it increased by half. And specifically, he won 19% of black men and 9% of black women, and 20% in 2016 he got 13% of black men and 4% of black women. So it went from 13 to 19 with black men and 4% to 9% among black women. So something must have gone right for him to have done that much better with black folks. He also did very well with Hispanics. 46% of the vote in Florida, I believe, a Hispanic vote in Florida, I should say. And the reason is people saw what he did. First of all, until COVID-19 came along, having a tremendously vibrant economy in which you saw the lowest black and Hispanic unemployment rate in American history. We have seen the highest median household income in American history and the lowest poverty rate in American history, including the first time poverty for black Americans fell below the 20% level ever. I believe more people were brought out of poverty under President Trump than the equivalent number across all the years of the Great Society programs under Lyndon Johnson all the way through Obama. And then you've had specific help with things like historically black colleges and universities, the opportunity zones. I think something like 8,100, I believe, opportunity zones, bringing something like $75 billion worth of private investment into low-income areas, many of them Hispanic and black neighborhoods. And then you had the First Step Act, which was the criminal justice reform, which many people on the left begged Obama to do. Obama and Biden, they didn't do it. They didn't do a damn thing about it for 8 years. And then here comes quote-unquote Mr. Racist Donald J. Trump. And within his first 2 years, he signed the First Step Act, and a lot of people who were locked up for nonviolent drug crimes were given an opportunity to go back and try to make something productive of themselves. Many of those were black people. So if he were the racist that the left claims he is, Trump wouldn't have done any of these things. He would have focused on other matters and let the black prisoners stay in jail, let the historically black colleges and universities struggle for cash, and not do anything that would help the economy and allow the lowest number of blacks and Hispanics to be unemployed in this country since we've been keeping records. So I hope that those accomplishments, among others, get out. But I do not trust the left to make these points. They'll continue to say that he's basically a Klansman in a blue suit. And I think it's really up to conservatives to point out the truth and explain it over and over and over and over again, probably for decades.
Fox News contributor Deroy Murdock talking with us right now. Deroy, before we run out of time, do you think that here in 2020, are we a more racist nation than we were, say, 20 years ago or less?
That's interesting. I don't know if we're more racist per se. We're certainly more racially sensitive and racially oversensitive, and maybe use the word racially paranoid. I just by coincidence last night was on YouTube, and I stumbled upon Don Rickles hosting Saturday Night Live in 1984. Oh. This is NBC, big network, major show. This isn't some little fringe thing. And boy, the racial humor, and he made fun of black people, he made fun of Puerto Ricans, he made fun of Swedish people, he made fun of everybody. It was hilarious. Everyone loved it. Everyone laughed like crazy. It's about 10 minutes long. You can look it up on YouTube. It's gold. I emailed a bunch of friends. Boy, you try to do that now, and I think the show would be off the air and the comedian would be under arrest. And that's really sad. And the way that we used to handle our racial differences in this country is we laughed about them. We thought it was hilarious. We had a great time. And now you can't bring this stuff up unless you're, genuflecting and crossing yourself and watching your every single solitary vowel and consonant to make sure you don't have either of them out of place, or you'll be canceled. And that will be the end of your career. And you'll probably have to go home and hide under your bed for the rest of your life.
Roy, we are so grateful to be able to talk with you each week. We look forward to having you back again next week. And I don't know if you're going to finish that Barack Obama book, but you can give us the notes if you do. And then you got to hurry because there could be another autobiography coming anytime now.
Well, I will wear my ski boots so that if I drop the book, it won't break my foot bones. I recommend that to your listeners if they pick that book up.
Thanks, Deroy. Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll catch you up on the news of the day here real quick. But also, I want to do something a little fun because I don't know, Ryan and Katie, did you find some things that I asked you about today?
I did.
You did?
Oh, yeah, I can grab some real quick.
So I've been Christmas shopping. Have you all been Christmas shopping? Of course you have.
Yes.
You go some of the things that you can buy. I grew up with the phrase "only in America," except for most of the stuff is coming from China, so that's not even actually accurate anymore. But I wanted to highlight some of the most ridiculous things that you can give for the totally gimmicky things where it's like you've shopped so much that you're like, I think I need that, or I think Dad would really love that. And if you looked back on that gift in March, you'd be like, nobody needs that. We're going to talk about some of these gifts, and then we're going to decide if maybe. Well, I'd kind of like to have that. So Ryan, Katie, and I have all picked some out. We're going to discuss some of these crazy gifts as well when we return. And I want to remind you, we are going to, it's not happening right now, so don't call right now. We're going to be giving away another holiday light pack giveaway. You're going to get vehicle passes to Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park, a lot of lights at St. Charles Family Arena, Wonderlight Christmas at Worldwide Technology Raceway, admission to Ford, the Zoo Wildlife at the St. Louis Zoo. This is crazy. So we're giving this away. Ryan is going to be giving it away sometime in the remainder of the show. And when he does, he will give you the phone numbers to call. It's not right now, but I just wanted to tell you when we get there what you're going to win. So stick around. Keep listening. We've got that coming up for you very soon. Back in a second.
I had a dream. We were back to 17.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I'll take with me the Polaroids and the memories.
Hey guys, Glover here. If you are nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the DGS. Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Omaha Steaks. As you know, I've been representing Omaha Steaks for years and years now. As you probably also know, I am something of an amateur chef as far as grilling and smoking, and I am super selective of the meats that I use because you can't have a great product if you don't start with great meats. And Omaha Steaks always delivers. 2020 holiday season feels like it's been a long time coming. Make it worth the wait. Send the perfect gift or send it to see yourself the deluxe grillers assortment, including perfectly aged top sirloins, incredible meats, amazing sides, and the infamous Omaha Steaks desserts. Right now, you're also going to get 4 free burgers and a free digital meat thermometer as an exclusive price available only to my listeners. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code Glover in the search bar. That's extra burgers plus an extra gift that's on the list of any serious grillers. Once again, that's omahasteaks.com. Type Glover into the search bar.
So the phone number for Slim 180 is 888-754-6111. Trying to lose weight, has it been a difficult road for you? Have you never tried to lose weight before and you're looking at the current, world situation? You're like, I need to do something about this, and I need to take it into my hands right now. Make that decision. Try Slim 180. They can help you lose weight and do it fast. Slim 180 has 3 different programs that you can choose from when you sit down and talk to them. Traditional program, a medically supervised HCG rapid weight loss program, or a quick start lipo lean program. That one's new. I did the medically supervised HCG rapid weight loss program. I have lost over 40 pounds with them, and I am so grateful of the happiness, the health, the energy that it gave me, and I want that for you also. They are located in O'Fallon, St. Charles, Sunset Hills, Creve Coeur, Chesterfield, and Florissant, but they're also meeting remotely. So give them a call, 888-754-6111, and set up your consultation today. MySlim180.com.
If you are looking for a home warranty, please check out my friends at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. That maintenance part of their title is extremely important. Most home warranty companies out there want to deny your claim due to lack of maintenance. They claim you haven't been taking care of your equipment over time, so they don't have to help you out. Well, at Upkeep, they completely eliminate that worry by sending their own technicians out to your home 4 times a year to do the general maintenance for you. And if you ever need service done, they will either repair or replace your equipment, and that work is also being done by an Upkeep employee. It's not a third-party contractor trying to upsell you. Their plans are extremely affordable. You can even divide your payments up over the 12 months of the year, and when you use code DGS, you get $100 off your service. To check out all of their different home warranty plans, go to their website, upkeepstl.com. That's upkeepstl.com.
Hi, it's Michael Mohan with Community Mortgage. With all the bad news out there, it's easy to miss the good news. Mortgage rates are at historic lows, making now a great time to buy or refinance a home. My customers are locking in the best rates in a generation. Now is the time to use the equity in your home to cash out for a remodel, pay off high-interest credit card debt, or rid yourself of the dreaded PMI. During these volatile times, you need an experienced local loan officer working for you. Call me, Michael Mohan, at 314-336-6050. I'm here in St. Louis, and when you call, you talk to me. Whether you are purchasing or refinancing, I want to help you save money on your home loan. Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, 314-336-6050. Online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, NMLS 250353224143.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic, mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop top, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to like of imitation.
97.1 FM Talk, the Frey Show. And he's working on getting back with us really temporarily here. She'll be back any second. She'll just chime in. And we should, what we should do, Katie? We should take the show completely off the rails, be talking about something so amazingly ridiculous that when she comes in, she'll think that we absolutely just ruined everything.
Ryan, if that deed is up to anyone, it is up to you. You can make that happen.
Man, I honestly, some of these interviews that we've done today, especially with Chris Farrell from Judicial Watch, some of those, while we're doing them, I know that you work on this and you're getting them up on the website, but I can't wait to be done at 3 because I love retweeting and looking for quotes and that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because some of it is so, if you're watching for the news right now with some of these cases, and I'm watching them like a hawk. I know a lot of people aren't, but I am. And I love pulling quotes and just seeing, adding to the symphony of cases and anomalies that are out there, which really you can't find anywhere else. We've talked about that a little bit on the show, just that the media isn't reporting almost any of this. I follow Real Clear Politics somewhat, and they've been reporting on it a little bit, but everybody's waiting for it to sort of crack the surface before they're willing to talk about it. Therefore, nobody talks about it because nobody's willing to sort of be the first to crack it. And so I love those interviews for that reason, because you're going, instead of trying to navigate through the different articles that may mention it or may not. Bill Barr comes out yesterday and says one very small thing. And so that becomes news because they were able to take it sort of out of context, although not lie. Just that he said, look, we're looking at this, and we carried the Kayleigh McEnany press conference at the beginning of the show. She shed great light on that. And so if any of these things I'm talking about you missed, you can listen to it on Rewind, or you can download the podcast when we get done here at 3. But she said when Bill Barr came out and said that, what he was talking about is criminal investigations, because that's what they do at the Department of Justice. They're not necessarily looking for civil litigation cases in election fraud, which is what most of the cases are right now. They're looking for criminal cases. Now, if they're able to find substantial ones, they become criminal cases, but it's not his job and the Department of Justice to look for specifically cases that might overturn an election. That's not what they do. So having that context, I thought, helped a lot. And of course, like we said, he didn't say that he didn't find any. He said that he hadn't noticed anything in the investigations that were put on his table that would overturn the election.
So whenever you heard that Bill Barr came out yesterday, we announced this on the show. Did that surprise you? Did it not surprise you because of the information that you just laid out? Or were you like, gosh, I wonder what Trump is thinking right now when Bill Barr says something like this? Like, what was your reaction?
I don't know what to think about Bill Barr. I really don't. I hope that I used to think this about John Roberts, the Supreme Court Justice John Roberts, that he seemed to be fair. In the last couple of years, I think that he's drifted away from being fair. I thought he tried to be nonpartisan earlier, and then I have seen the light. I think that he has actually done the opposite of that in the last couple of years and become hyper-partisan and tried to sort of politicize the public appearance of the court instead of deciding cases on their own merit. So I say that to say the jury's still out for me on Bill Barr because he doesn't seem to play games. He comes out and he does interviews and just gives the facts. And I like that. But then you also wonder, is there anything more you could be doing? You're in a high profile position and justice kind of stops at your feet. And yet we haven't really seen, Annie's kind of said this, you get skeptical at some point that if there is crime happening, that these people are going to prosecute it, that they're just going to kind of play the game and put things forth and try to get them maybe into Senate hearings. I mean, not that that's his responsibility, but they may get there. They may get a little bit of coverage, but not really. And then they go away. So we're all still kind of waiting on the Durham report. We're waiting to see throughout this whole process what Bill Barr is doing. Yesterday kind of shined more light on that to me and said that he's probably not going to be the guy who has the bombshell anyway, but that he's doing his job. And is that good enough right now? I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I feel like it's just a crazy thing to have these press briefings that we haven't had in a while, and to see Kayleigh answer some of these questions that are incredibly pressing. And of course, most of her answers were, I haven't talked to the president about that personally. This is not in my jurisdiction, basically. But this needs, the information needs to come out if Trump is still going to keep moving forward. And that's all I know of it. I want the information. I think, Ryan, you've been fiending for the information for quite some time.
Yes.
And that's what we need to keep moving forward. I just think that right now it's just very interesting to see Bill Barr come out and say what he did yesterday and what's going to develop. We don't know. That's why we got to sit and wait and be patient.
Speaking of being patient.
What are we talking about, guys?
Some heavy stuff. Ryan said, should we start off with the funny stuff that Annie wants to talk about? I'm like, nah, let's let her.
No, let's do a deep dive.
Annie's not here.
Annie's
Let's get
back.
down to business.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something serious. It's the first time that's happened in a long time.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to tell you what happened here. I clicked on a link that Ryan sent me and everything, it went boop. And then everything
really?
went up. Yes. I'm afraid to click on this
I'm
link
afraid to
again.
click on it again too.
Oh man, I'm going
gonna
to
do it
copy
anyway.
and paste it. If I go away this
It's fine.
time,
I clicked
now
on it, it's
you
fine.
know. This shows the ridiculousness of the nature of these gifts that were. Oh, here it is. It loaded. It loaded once we came back. So what we were discussing off air is some of these gifts that you see. Once you get into the idea of buying gifts for people, it ends up. You know, you're shopping a lot more than you normally would shop for people. You shop for a birthday gift for somebody. You're buying a gift, right? Or you're thinking about one person and one gift giving experience. When you're buying gifts for all sorts of people, I think you start to kind of get to the place where you're not thinking clearly. You've kind of gotten yourself into this stupor of I have to spend money and I have to check things off of a list for people. What can I buy that they're not going to get from a bunch of other people? Ryan's going to start with his hammer and axe mini beer pong drinking game Catapult. Portable wooden foldable tabletop game, $24.99 at Walmart.
I have this.
Oh no, you're
And
kidding
here
me.
we go. You have this for the low price of $24.99. Have you ever played it?
Yes,
Are you
absolutely.
good at it?
No, it's so fun and it is so much harder than real beer pong.
Wait. So that was my criticism is why wouldn't, if you're playing beer pong, all you need is a ping pong ball because you've already got glasses. Why would you need the set?
Ryan, this is
tiny.
a cool gift. This is a cool gift. This is not a gimmick gift. And fake news. Fake news all around.
We're now in real.
Wait. What's that? I mean, seriously, it's just cups and balls. Like,
yeah, if you don't have, so David and I don't have a beer pong table or a ping pong table, but you know, sometimes we like to spend a Friday night, just he and I getting a couple beers down and
you
having
just
a
need
good.
a table. You don't need a ping pong
Yeah,
table.
but
Hey, Ryan, when was the last time you and your wife had an evening of we need to drink some beer? So let's get the beer pong out and play beer pong. When was the last time you and your wife, Katie, decided to pass some time that way?
You know what? Looking back before kids, I would say never. I would say even before
in
kids.
the
that never
expanse of
happened.
all time, it
Yeah.
has not ever happened.
Never.
So you don't want the mess, you don't want the cleanup, you don't have to clear off a table, so you get out this bad boy.
Amy on YouTube says, "I'm totally buying the Hammer and Axe beer pong game." For
Oh,
my
great.
friend."
Great.
Need to
This is
get it.
backfiring.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, this is what I think. Like you see this, and to people like Ryan and me, we're like, this is the biggest waste of money that exists on the face of the planet. And Katie's like, I have it. And I'm actually quite skilled.
Not just I want
at
it.
this
I have
game.
it.
Yeah. So I've got one here, and we're going to put this one up on the screen if you want to watch along with us. I mean, I really do think we're probably going to be doing some shopping for you here right now. And we'll continue this into the next segment unless my internet craps out again. And then Ryan and Katie will talk about important things.
Bill Barr.
Where did it go? I just got it up here. All right. I'm putting this here up on the screen. You can watch us at facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. We will, of course, explain these to you. This is the thing that made me come up with this stupid segment. This is a 0.3 cubic feet 6-can retro mini fridge, and you can get it in a bunch of different colors. And the reason why this makes me mad is because I do kind of want it because it's cute.
It's cute.
But it's $44.99. I'm showing it at Home Depot here. And it is a mini fridge that holds, 6 cans of soda.
Oh, wow.
Like, where are you in your office? Do you only want, look at that little thing.
Ugh.
It just holds 6 cans of soda.
Pointless.
Okay, I've bought one of these before.
I thought you would be somebody who would want, like, I thought if Ryan has to change up his situation, that it would be good for him to have in reach a six pack of whatever. But look at how tiny this thing is on the shelf.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
It's like maybe, I don't even know that it's 12 inches wide.
It looks
probably
more
about
like a decoration.
Yeah, it's probably about 12 inches tall, 10 inches wide. I don't know. It probably tells you what it is here.
In my defense, the one that I bought had like Coca-Cola paraphernalia all
Hipster.
over it, and the person I bought it for collects Coca-Cola stuff. So,
so you bought it for somebody else.
I
not
bought
for
it for
yourself.
somebody else. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, it is cute
It is a
though,
waste
and I
of
do
time.
like the colors.
You
Maybe I'll buy
have to
this.
think about how long does it take to get 6 cans of soda or beer cold?
Mm-hmm.
And like every time you open that thing, how much of that cold air is going to go out? And like how quickly are you going to go through those 6 drinks? Like it just seems so ridiculous. It says ideal for Zoom happy hours.
Let's get
Not just for
wasted.
drinks. It's perfect for keeping makeup fresh. What? Take it with you, plugs into 12-volt car adapter. Maybe the only thing that I'm seeing here that makes it worthwhile to purchase is a travel cooler. And it looks like a mini old refrigerator. So
the
that's
problem is you'd have to restock it so dang often.
yes. And it would take forever for it to get cold again.
Yes. Yeah, you can't
Oh my
even put a full. I mean, you can't put a full 12 pack in that thing, let alone a 24 pack.
Yeah, brother.
Hey, someone just bought us a beer pong
Mark
table.
Reed just sent us a YouTube super chat for $9.99 for the beer pong table for the fan.
I'll whip some butts and beer pong if
All
necessary.
right, we're gonna take a quick break here. I can't wait to hear what Katie thinks is useless. I'm gonna click on this link, and hopefully, I'll be back along with Ryan and Katie
Bye,
after the
Annie.
break. So stick around. We're gonna return in theory. Don't go away. I will try not to either.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating over 50 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Do you know that Goodwill accepts car donations? Yes, if you have an old car or truck that's just taking up space, consider donating it to Goodwill. It's quick, easy, and towing is free. Plus, you'll get a tax receipt and family meals for a year, compliments of our hometown Lion's Choice, while supplies last. For more info or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Your car donation helps fund Goodwill's many programs, including their Excel Center High School with over 400 graduates and still growing. Your donations change lives.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk, and in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcast on radio.com. That's radio.com, and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Retirement Advisory Group is headed up with Thomas Helbig, and this is like one of the sweetest guys you're ever going to meet. And boy, he's excited. I mean, he is excited to work with you and get your retirement on track to be protected. Hey, Mark, thank you so much. Step out of being in a career job and stepping into retirement, which is whatever you want to make of it. It's going to be there for you. You can set up a no cost, no obligation retirement review being offered to you right now by Thomas Helbig by calling this number, 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. When you reach out to Thomas Helbig, he's going to help you learn how to make sure that you can participate in the market gains, not have to fear those market losses. And he's going to make sure that you know everything, all those tips and tricks that generally speaking people overlook when they're going into their retirement. He's going to make it all good for you. It's 314-993-9494. Visit him online right now at retirementkey.com.
An unprecedented year like 2020 calls for an unprecedented holiday offer from Diamonds Direct. So, for the first time ever during December, we're allowing 4 years zero interest financing on anything and everything. It's our way of helping you make her holiday one to remember. Just pick any beautiful piece of jewelry, take the price, divide by 48, and that's your payment. A $4,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $84 a month. And we have the gifts women love. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstones, all new fashion jewelry from top designers. And of course, the largest selection of engagement rings and certified diamonds in the country. After all she's been through in 2020, now's the perfect time to let her know how much you love her. Reward her with a gift that is romantic, timeless, and symbolic. And with 48 months zero interest financing, you can afford to splurge. Diamonds Direct, helping you make that magical moment this holiday season. Shop online at diamondsdirect.com or in person in our showroom. Diamonds Direct.
Olive and 270 at City Place.
Attention St. Louis homeowners. Are you looking to sell your house without all the stress? Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can buy your house cash and close on your timeline. No commissions, no repairs, no appraisals, no showings, no headache. Call Chris now, 314-782-7000, or go online to chrisbuysHomesSTL.com to get a free no-obligation cash offer for your house. Behind on payments? The tenant stopped paying the rent? The house needs too many repairs? Not a problem. Chris buys houses in any condition and deals with any situation. There's a reason why Chris Buys Homes is the most trusted home buyer in St. Louis. Go online to get your offer today. chrisbuysHomesSTL.com or call 314-782-7000. That's 314-782-7000.
The Dave Glover Show.
And it was made in 1968. And in the first or second one, they went to 1978, where we were on a Mars mission. Missed that by a few decades.
Weekdays at 3 on 97.1 FM Talk.
All right. So we wanted to share with you some things. This we've been doing our Christmas shopping, some stupid things that you might get duped into buying. And as we are sharing these with you, a lot of you are commenting on the YouTube, the Annie Frey YouTube channel and the Annie Frey Show Facebook page that you are now going to buy this for like your sister. So I don't know if this is having the effect that I thought it would have, but these are things that we've seen while we were shopping and we're like, what the ever loving heck is this? This is from Katie, Grump Notebooks. Tell us about Grump Notebooks.
Okay. So Annie, you're the first person I thought. I'm like, maybe I'll get Annie one of these things. So these are the three. These are your
Who
options.
would like this thing that says on the front of it, things that annoy me?
Anger.
I thought immediately of you, Annie.
Daily disappointments. Fresh rants. And I said, I would put Annie in this category. I could buy this gift and you would laugh and I think you would love it. But I also think I could buy any conservative this gift and they would laugh and they would love it. Daily disappointments. So this is the description. Having a bad day or some nasty thought. Well, pour all your grievances into this notebook that's made specifically for those grumps of the world. And you're not really a grump of the world.
Yeah, you're regretting this decision right now. Shouldn't have admitted that out loud.
Those with especially grumpy dispositions may find one notebook to be insufficient for recording their complaints. So we made a set of 3.
These are for people who have hate flowing from their hearts 24 hours a day. I thought of you, Annie.
No, that's not
Annie,
true.
in this merriment season where
That's
we
not
show
true.
our loved ones how we feel about them and want them to feel cared for and compassionate.
But I feel
here's a
like
book that you can fill out called Daily Disappointments.
It was either going to be this or a dream notebook. You decide.
You live in misery. Why not write it down all
Oh
day?
my God.
I just thought, I was like, Annie never sleeps and it's because your brain doesn't turn off. So maybe part of that, besides the ideas, is also the things that annoy you throughout the day. And this is a box that you can
I don't know,
all of
Katie.
this-
Back to back, this commented with your and Tony's gross misjudgment of my character yesterday about when I was saying that I used to judge people's Christmas decorations, but now I think there's not enough Christmas and you should celebrate however you want. And you guys are like, oh, that was very telling.
It's 2:30 in the morning. I can't go to sleep. I'm going to get out my grump notebook and write about it.
Annie, I've got just what you need. There's something that I saw and it immediately made me think of you.
You're not a grump. You're not
whatever.
a grump.
Yeah.
I just love it.
I know.
Fresh rants.
I get it. I understand. You
You
love
gotta
my
watch that
fresh
language.
rants. I'm gonna buy one of these books. I'm gonna fill it out and I'm gonna give it to you for next Christmas. That's how this is
It's all
going
about
down.
Katie.
Things to work on as producer, or just in life in general.
General complaints about Katie. I'm gonna X out in Sharpie the title of the book.
Makes assumptions about people a lot.
Fresh rants. ... about Katie Fitzpatrick. Gets coronavirus during the election. Broadcast from kitchen table
Plan.
in a room with tall ceilings and dog barking.
Most important day of 2020 gets coronavirus.
Actually, of our time on the air so far.
God, I forgot about that one. Darn it.
I didn't. I remember it. It ended up being okay. All right, Ryan, this is what you're going to get Katie ahead.
Oh no, because I won't spend that much. But this goes into the category.
This is
of-
167 reviews and it's got 5 stars.
Yeah, it's
4.9
dumb.
stars.
And 167 dumb people bought it. And it's a Yorkshire Terrier custom felted dog slipper.
Is it taxidermy?
No.
Oh, okay.
See, that's the thing.
It's not a real dog.
It's not turning your actual dead dog into slippers, which I actually think would be kind of cool.
Oh my gosh.
No, this
How do you do that into 2?
This is just
Write it
picking
down
a
in the list of
breed and being like,
disappointments.
look, it's your dog, but it's any breed, and you got to spend $100 on it.
Stupid.
Dumb.
do
Any
look
slipper
kinda
that looks
lifelike.
like anything, I just don't like.
The fur is what's throwing me off because that looks like it could be from an actual dog. And that scares
First
me.
review is beautiful, unique, and comfortable slippers. Thank you, Louise.
Slippers that look like
Creepy.
weird stuff and have like weird shapes and stuff, they always sound like a good idea and they're fun to open, but nobody ever wears them. And if somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong, I know, but
Marjorie says, 5 stars. These slippers are so adorable. I bought a pair of raccoons for my husband and bunnies for me. We both love them. Your husband doesn't love them. Your husband is a liar and probably a really good husband.
What in the heck? Gross.
How'd you come across those?
I don't know. I hate slippers that look like things because they're just clumsy and they're hard
So
to
did
walk
you Google
in.
slippers that
So I
look like
Googled house shoes that look like things. I found those.
This is one from the
It was a
audience.
Yorkshire Terrier.
I'm excited to share this one. This is from was it? Let's see. I gotta make sure. I'll find the credit here. It was from Michael on Facebook. This is a burrito blanket. It's a giant flour tortilla throw blanket,
Oh,
soft and
no.
comfortable flannel taco blanket for kids. It's a big blanket that looks like a tortilla or maybe like the moon. It's hard to tell. It's a circle and it's there for the best deal price of $23.99. Prime shipping. You
Okay.
can get one that's 71 inches wide.
Wait. Okay.
I wouldn't mind that.
What about this one?
Remember whenever you got with your siblings and you guys were doing like little slumber parties in the living room and you unzipped your sleeping bag and you'd roll each other up like burritos? No.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay.
We didn't have
Well, I did
friends.
that with my siblings and my friends.
Is this before or after you get out the axe beer pong?
Wait, this is like 2:00 in the morning, folks.
This
We're
wasn't
taking
something-
vodka shots.
Right.
You
this
can
wasn't
get it
something
in
to do with
you can get it in pizza as well. Look at that. That looks terrible.
Ew.
It's just a big circle blanket. One of them you can get it in 2. It says color red, but it's a pizza. It's a pepperoni
Ugh.
pizza, and the other one is a tortilla.
Oh,
It doesn't look nice at all.
Here's my problem with this gift is that it's actually kind of funny and it's not outrageously priced, but it's a circle. What kind of does anybody use a circle blanket? How do you use one properly?
You wrap someone up in it.
I mean, as long as it's big enough, it
I
doesn't.
mean, if you're just
necess-
wrapping somebody up in it to have fun, then I guess you get the burrito blanket and everybody's
I
having a
like
good
this
time.
idea for a kid.
But
I don't think
wrapping
it's.
somebody
I
up
don't
in a
think it's
pizza-
difficult to use a circle blanket. Why do you need it to be a square
Wait,
or a
do you
rectangle?
have a circle blanket?
No.
I don't know. I've never really no. But why does it matter? Why would it be
Because you
hard
couldn't
to
pull-
use?
It would be hard to pull the edges up around your face when you get
Why
cold.
do you put the edges? I mean, as long as it's the length of your body, it's going to cover you.
I don't know. It seems like as you turn around and while you're sleeping,
You
easily-
aren't the
Lace and
actual shape
blanket.
of the rectangle blanket that you're using.
No, but it's symmetrical and it works. And your brain says, hey, I know I have this much more of this blanket before it comes off.
This isn't about the physical process of covering yourself up. This is about your brain's relationship with said circle blanket.
Yes.
That you're struggling with.
I hate it.
Well, I will pose this question also. Who wraps somebody up in a pizza?
Well, Katie.
Me.
Sleepovers.
Me.
Okay.
I did. It's a great gift for kids.
Oh my gosh.
I get the tortilla, but not the pizza.
Katie, if I got a blanket for you that was like circle like this and it just had Ryan's face on it, would you use it?
I think that might be.
Would you wear a shirt with my face on it?
I would wear a shirt with your face on it.
I just got you your Christmas gift then.
Amy's getting you a shirt with Ryan's face on it too. Amy says blankets need to be square. I understand like why most of them are, but I don't think that they would become more difficult to use. I mean, I don't know that the requirement there is the knowledge base that you need to use a blanket.
Look, Carlo just says fold it in half. No, then you just make a semicircle. That doesn't fix the problem. And you have a shorter blanket.
I have one.
Did you send that?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Okay, so I'm putting this one up
I
here
hope
now.
it doesn't. I hope you're.
So, of any of these that we've shown right now, do you, Ryan? Would you buy any of them? Katie would buy all of them.
Every single one.
Well, I did buy that fridge kind of, so I guess I'll go with the fridge.
Okay.
Even though it's dumb.
Okay. Now this initially I was like, this is stupid. But now I feel like I'm getting conned into liking it.
There you go. That's how it starts.
Yes. It's a homesick candle. So if you were unable to go to Thanksgiving or unable to go to Christmas with your family and they live in Chicago or they live in St. Louis, you are able to capture the scent of St. Louis, which is hot garbage.
I was just gonna say, what does St. Louis smell like that you want to burn in a candle?
That exactly whatever I was looking at this and looking at the reviews. I'm like, in what city does it smell splendid? Does it smell great that you want to have that and burn it in your home?
I bet Texas smells nice.
Smells like freedom.
You know where it probably
Listen
smells
to
really
you.
gross is Miami.
Smells what?
Gross.
Miami?
It's real hot and humid all the time.
I don't know.
I
got a lot of flavor and flair down there. Holiday, I need to know more about this. I wonder. Here's a Florida candle. So we have an Austin candle, a Florida candle.
There was a Chicago candle.
There's a Chicago candle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there really a St. Louis one?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Hot garbage.
She was so disinterested.
Yes.
I don't even care if there's one. Amy Cordy with Illinois Policy. We'll come back.
That's what I said. Selling your home creates a lot of questions, right? What's my home worth? Is now a good time to sell, or should I wait until after the holidays? It can all be overwhelming. That's why I trust and recommend my family and friends to Gloria Liu with GL International Realty, part of Coldwell Banker Premier Group. Hey, it's Mark Cox. I've been telling you about Gloria for a while now, and she is the real estate authority in St. Louis. She's got a proprietary marketing system that helps her sell for up to 3% more. That's $9,000 more on a $300,000 home, because Gloria has the buyers. She recently sold a home in Eureka. The seller was thrilled to get several offers the first 24 hours and sold for way over asking price in just a week. She's also got a guaranteed sale program. Ask her about it. Get your home sold right with Gloria Liu. Here's her number, 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or go online at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
This is Happy from Hardee's. Listen closely. Do you hear that? That's the sizzling sound of 2 1/3-pound juicy Angus beef patties stacked with 4 strips of bacon on the Monster Angus Thick Burger. You're getting hungry for the bacon. You're driving to the Angus beef. But wait, don't take your eyes off the road for the monster. When I snap my star fingers, you'll pull into the nearest Hardee's and order the Monster Angus Thick Burger. Feed your happy.
Available at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Guys, 2020 has been a rough year on everyone, and that includes your wife or girlfriend. So spoil her this Christmas by treating her to some rest and relaxation with the world's softest pajamas, exclusively from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts for nearly 20 years. She'll love the way the world's softest pajamas feel, and you'll love the way they look. They're silky smooth on the outside, soft like a baby bunny on the inside, to wrap her in warmth and comfort all winter long. Just the ticket for melting away her stress and helping her to relax and restore after a long day and year. And right now, when you order today, you'll get a great deal. Free gift packaging. That means you don't have to wrap a thing. Get her the world's softest pajamas and get your free gift packaging today before this deal disappears. Just go to pajamagram.com. It's fast, easy, and delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. That's pajamagram.com.
Mark Cox here. Guys, let Victory Men's Health help you regain your vitality by optimizing your hormones, vitamins, and sexual health. Victory Men's Health has the most cutting-edge technologies to treat ED. They have wave therapy. Listen, this is the biggest advancement for men with ED since the launch of Viagra. That's pretty incredible. They do the treatments in their office. Victory Men's Health offers wave therapy in both their Illinois and Missouri location. Check them out online today at Victory Men's Health.
KFTK FM Florissant, K254CR St. Louis, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk, a radio.com station.
It's coming soon. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That reassurance from the leaders of Operation Warp Speed, the U.S. government's effort to fast-track vaccine production. Fox's Eben Brown has more live.
At least things are on track for a thorough but quick approval by the FDA for candidate coronavirus vaccines from both Pfizer and Moderna. And now a third formula, this one from Johnson & Johnson, is getting ready for phase 3 clinical trials.
Now, the breakthrough that we hope with this vaccine is that it's a one-shot vaccine with very fast efficacy achieved.
Unlike the others, which require 2 rounds to work, says Dr. Monsif Slaoui, the Operation Warp Speed chief medical advisor. Production of Moderna and Pfizer's vaccine is already underway, and 20 million Americans could be vaccinated in a matter of weeks. Lisa?
Thanks, Eben. The FDA holds a hearing next week on Pfizer's version, which won its first approval today in Britain. A day after, the U.S. Attorney General said no evidence of widespread election fraud has been found. White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany says the Trump campaign keeps fighting.
The president has said that he believes all legal votes should be counted and all illegal votes should not be counted. And in fact, the campaign is pursuing that litigation. I can't get into the details of that litigation here, but they still do have active cases in Nevada and Wisconsin.
McEnany also noting that Attorney General Barr has emphasized the difference between the federal criminal justice system and allegations that should be made in civil lawsuits. An Olympic champion who helped subdue an assassin has died. Rayford Johnson was one of the world's greatest athletes when he won the decathlon at the Rome Olympics in 1960. He was working on Robert F. Kennedy's presidential campaign when Kennedy was shot and killed. Johnson and 2 others capturing the shooter, Sirhan Sirhan, moments later. America is listening to Fox News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies, 48 will do it for the high. The evening is dry, a little bit of light rain and light snow after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. 32 for the low, borderline temperature. So whatever we see is not going to be much. Thursday, when we wake up, still a little bit of light rain and light snow around, but just don't expect much out of this. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies on Thursday and 42. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a right fit for you. And check out the podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's digital editor, Megan Crane.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk.
Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday morning at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Nearly every week, our team meets with clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion on your retirement plan today. When you work with us at the ClearPath Wealth Management Group, we're committed to providing you with guidance that's in your best interest, no exceptions. To request your free consultation, contact us at bobstockdale.com. That's bobstockdale.com. Again, that's bobstockdale.com. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Stewart's American Mortgage is home of the bagel loan, and Stewie is your guy when it comes to just think about the biggest payment that you're making every month. It's likely your mortgage. When you can lower that payment and maybe make it a little more manageable for you right now, maybe if financial times have been a little more difficult for you at this moment, maybe that lower payment would be a very, very welcomed event. Maybe you're happy with your payment and your rate could be significantly lower. If you haven't looked at your rate in the last year or more, you need to check it out right now, because when you go with the bagel loan, you're not going to pay Stewie fees that every other lender is going to charge you for. That's what the bagel loan is. And he set up his business specifically around this way of making sure that the customer is at the middle, the center, the focus of this transaction. Reach out to Stewie on his personal cell phone number, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Tell him Annie said hello. Google the bagel loan if you want to learn more. NMLS number 226715.
At GEHA, we believe that possible is for everyone, because possible isn't perfect. It's progress and persistence. Fun and fulfilling. Whether it comes in giant leaps or small steps. And with a wide variety of medical and dental plans designed for federal employees and their families, GEHA is here to help. With open season happening until December 14th, now is the time to choose your possible. Learn more at GEHA.com.
This is Sean Rimmerman. I'm your host of We're Having a Senior Moment every Saturday morning on 97.1 FM Talk. Are you having issues coping in the time of COVID? Do you need some assistance making sure that your family member, that your loved one is safe, is secure, and as independent as possible? Give us a call at Comfort Care Home Care. We want to make sure that you and they live their best lives possible. Call us at 314-965-9600.
97.1 FM Talk is on the radio
and online on your smart speaker, on your phone,
and streaming anytime at 971talk.com. Find it all at radio.com.
97.1 FM Talk.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for spending some time with us today. We appreciate you coming along with us throughout the course of this Wednesday afternoon. We've talked a little bit about, in the course of this show, some of the lawsuits that are taking place throughout the course of the country. Specifically, we spoke with Chris Farrell of Judicial Watch at 1240. He was talking about a FOIA request that Judicial Watch put out, and they got some documents back that showed that the Obama DHS had scanned the Georgia election sites in 2016. If you want to listen to that, make sure you check out the Annie Frey Show podcast. Deroy Murdock joined us as well. in the 1 o'clock hour to talk about the Barack Obama book tour. So if you missed that, you're going to want to check it out. Also, if you missed it, we talked about some ridiculous gifts that you can give for Christmas. I guess you could podcast that too, right, Katie? In theory,
yes.
If you want to go back and listen to that, you can.
And you should.
And basically, we just talked about ridiculous things you can give people for Christmas, and Katie determined she wanted all of them.
They didn't seem
except for the things that she already had.
Yes.
Something that we've been watching closely here on the Andy Frey Show is the controversy, the scandal surrounding Mike Madigan. It's gotten a little bit closer and a little bit closer. It's this federal investigation that involves ComEd and its relationship with the Speaker of the House in the state of Illinois. It's gotten real dicey, and we've watched a lot of legislators also say, you know what, I'm not going to support the Speaker of the House for this next session. Here in the Metro East, I don't believe that we've seen Katie Stewart in the 112th district say that she's going to pull her support from Mike Madigan. She has definitely supported it in the past, taken a lot of money from him. And there are a lot of, I think Hoffman as well has not come out and said that he is not going to support Mike Madigan. The question is, why would they not support him? And what have we seen from other Democrats who have been calling out Mike Madigan to provide some answers to a lot of these very worthwhile questions? Well, that's why we welcome Amy Cordy onto the show. She's the Vice President of Policy at Illinois Policy Institute, illinoispolicy.org, and she joins us now. Amy, great to have you back on the show with us. This is a subject that a lot of people listening to the show are very interested in the details to. What can you tell us?
Hi, Annie. So far today, as you just mentioned, several Democrats have said Mike Madigan needs to step down as Speaker of the Illinois House. We have 19 Democratic representatives so far on record, and it's really even spread to top leadership in the Illinois Democratic Party, such as U.S. Senator Dick Durbin, Tammy Duckworth. They've called on him to step down as chairman of the Illinois Democratic Party, and so has Governor Pritzker. So there are increasing voices saying that Mike Madigan is an anchor on the Democratic Party in Illinois.
Amy, if he is not the Speaker of the House for the first time in a long, long time, is there concern, because he's still a House member, is there concern that he could still just be pulling the strings from the sidelines?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's not a matter of just replacing Mike Madigan as Speaker, because he has built up this infrastructure that props up one person with a whole lot of power. And so you don't want to just exchange one person with too much power for another person with too much power. So the first step, you need to get rid of Mike Madigan as Speaker. He really should step down. He has become the emblem of corruption in Illinois. But then you need to shift your focus, all of us do as Illinois citizens and voters, from the person to the process. And you need to make a clean break with the past. So we would encourage the representatives in the Illinois House to shift their focus then to the rules that have made Mike Madigan so powerful. So they need to reform the House rules that invest the Speaker with way too much power, and then institute ethics reform. There are lots of bills that could be passed to really clean up Springfield and make a break with that culture of corruption. And then they really ought to make reforms to the map making process in Illinois. This is a redistricting year for the United States, with the census numbers will be coming out in April. And right now, politicians pick their voters in Illinois instead of voters picking their politicians. It should be the other way around. So that process needs to change as well.
Amy Cordy's spot on with that, exactly the way it has gone in the state of Illinois, Vice President of Policy at Illinois Policy Institute. You mentioned that Governor Pritzker has said that Mike Madigan, House Speaker for 35 years, needs to answer questions or he needs to step down. What are these questions that even Governor Pritzker is calling on probably the most powerful individual in state politics in the country? What questions are so pertinent that even J.B. Pritzker is saying, yeah, you need to, fess up or answer up to some of these questions that everybody's looking at you right now?
Well, those questions would be surrounding the investigation into ComEd and the federal bribery charges that have been that have landed at ComEd's door. And the speaker has issued statements saying he had nothing to do with this bribery scheme involving at least 4 of his close associates. And the federal indictment to which all of these 4 people pleaded not guilty today in federal court in Chicago. The indictment involves a scheme to bribe Mike Madigan as the Speaker of the House on behalf of ComEd by funneling money and jobs to his associates in order to gain favor with the Speaker, who has such control over the legislative agenda in the Illinois House of Representatives. So Governor Pritzker said that Madigan shouldn't just issue these denying statements. He should make himself available to the press to answer really detailed questions about what he knew and how this whole scheme evolved without him allegedly not knowing anything about it.
Amy Cordy is Vice President of Policy at Illinois Policy. Let me ask you this question. Why has it taken the FBI, the federal FBI, getting involved in this for there to see some of these things come to light when we have our own attorney general and we have our own law process here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know a lot of these corruption charges, they are federal charges, so that would be appropriate for the U.S. attorney to bring on behalf of the federal government. I'm not sure to what extent state charges could also be brought, which would be the purview of the Illinois Attorney General. But that just shows the need, though, to clean up this whole culture of corruption so that we don't invest someone with so much power that he's seen as a great target for bribery by, people with their own private interests. And there are a lot of laws that Illinois state reps and state senators could pass to institute ethics reform to make a clean break with the past and show there's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah, there's so much that rests in the hands of Mike Madigan. Much to Mike, this is the Madigan design. It is the way it is. The power exists in his hands because he's created it. He's manifested it in the multiple decades that he has been in this position. You were talking about, when you were discussing ethics reform previously, you were talking about how if this were to go outside of the way of a future Mike Madigan speakership again, that they need to invest in that ethics reform. Can you talk to me a little bit about what kind of power that Mike Madigan has given that speakership that allows him to really, in a backdoor, quiet room kind of way, decide whatever gets discussed, whatever would get voted on? There's nothing that gets by Mike Madigan that gets out into the public that he hasn't blessed already. Can you kind of tell us, how does it work in Springfield when it's Mike Madigan Springfield?
Yeah, absolutely. So the House Rules of Procedure are what govern the making of legislation in the Illinois House of Representatives. And those very rules have some of the keys to the Speaker's power. So the Speaker, under one of the rules, gets to appoint chairs of committees. Well, those chairmanships go with $10,000 stipends. So when the Speaker is the sole person who gets to appoint chairs, he can reward his allies by giving them a $10,000 stipend as a chair of a committee, and he can punish his people who cross him, like Scott Drury, who had the temerity to not vote for the president or for the Speaker as Speaker in, I think, 2017. He was stripped of his committee chairmanship. And he himself said in a newspaper article at the time that he knew at least one other representative who didn't want to cross the Speaker by not voting for him as Speaker because he didn't want his committee chairmanship and the $10,000 stipend taken away. That's not pocket change. $10,000 is real money. So that's just one rule. Another rule allows any bills to just be parked in what's called the Rules Committee instead of, usually they go to the Rules Committee first, and then that committee would assign them to a substantive committee like Veterans Affairs or Agriculture or something like that. Well, we'll just say that the Rules Committee chair is appointed by the Speaker. If there's a bill that is not supposed to see the light of day, that bill can just go to the Rules Committee to die and never be seen, never be heard or voted on again. And there are actually multiple ethics bills in 2019 that were just kind of parked in the Rules Committee, never got a vote. For example, there was a bill that would have prohibited lawmakers from lobbying local governments like the Chicago City Council, for example, or DuPage County Commission. Those bills never saw the light of the day. They just went to Rules Committee and never got assigned out. So that's one example.
You mentioned some of these reforms and ethics rules that could be passed. My question is that without Madigan at the top, is there a possibility that some of these things could get through?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's increasing interest in ethics reform. And, bribery is illegal. So we don't need another law to specifically prohibit bribery. But you need to create this expectation that this is a clean way of doing business and this is how we operate in Springfield now. So, for example, restrictions on lawmaker lobbying. So lobbying should not be done by lawmakers, even of other bodies of government, like, for example, a city council or a county commission or an executive agency. That lawmaker is in Springfield to represent his or her constituents and not to be lobbying other governmental entities for private clients. There's also the revolving door that lets you be a lawmaker on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, after you've left the General Assembly, go to work as a lobbyist and coming back and lobbying your former colleagues. Illinois is one of only 14 states that does not have a broad revolving door restriction. So if you instituted a cooling off period of 1 or 2 years so that you couldn't be a lawmaker on Tuesday and a lobbyist on Wednesday, that would set a tone of a much cleaner government.
Amy Cordy, thank you so much for coming on and updating us on this. So many Democrats have stepped up so far and put the extra pressure on Mike Madigan. And I want to continue to spotlight that here on the Annie Frey Show. So we're always grateful for you to come on here and give us the latest. Thanks, Amy. Great to speak with you.
Thanks so much for having me.
You too. IllinoisPolicy.org. If you want to learn more, Amy Cordy is a great resource there, and they've got tons of information there. Katie?
The Holiday Light Pack giveaway is right now. If you win, you will get 1 vehicle pass to Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park, 1 pass to Lot of Lights at St. Charles Family Arena. I've heard great things about that.
Me too.
1 vehicle pass to Wonderlight Christmas at Worldwide Technology Raceway. I've actually been to that and can vouch for that one. Admission for 4 to Zoo Wild Lights at the St. Louis Zoo, and winners will use these passes before January 2nd. Promotions director will contact you via email and mail you the prize. Here are the phone numbers for you to call and be caller number 15. You got that? 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or toll free 866-455-9797.
A+ work, guys.
Nicely done. Woo! Yes.
Way better than yesterday.
Well, we set the bar low for the first.
Yeah, which is not hard to do.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more Annie Frey Show, and we'll get a winner. Caller number 15 right now wins that Holiday Light Pack giveaway. That's a really cool prize. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner.
Can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
You're behind the steering wheel. Touching you, touching me.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
I busted up my knee in Afghanistan, jumping out of a helicopter. I flew back to the States for surgery. I pushed myself to the max and busted it up again. I was told a medical discharge was an option. Then I had surgery at Mizzou BioJoint Center.
To see if MU Healthcare's Mizzou BioJoint Center is right for you, visit biojoint.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Have you locked in on your refinance yet? What are you waiting for? Mortgage rates are still in the 2s, but you need to get locked in now. You could be saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars a month. And how nice would it be to pay off all the credit cards and have cash in the bank? Get pre-approved for whatever lies ahead with a simple refinance. Apply online today with our 5-minute loan approval, only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Omaha Steaks. As you know, I've been representing Omaha Steaks for years and years now. As you probably also know, I am something of an amateur chef as far as grilling and smoking, and I am super selective of the meats that I use because you can't have a great product if you don't start with great meats. And Omaha Steaks always delivers. 2020 holiday season feels like it's been a long time coming. Make it worth the wait. Send the perfect gift or send it to yourself. The deluxe grillers assortment, including perfectly aged top sirloins, incredible meats, amazing sides, and the infamous Omaha Steaks desserts. Right now, you're also going to get 4 free burgers and a free digital meat thermometer as an exclusive price available only to my listeners. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code Glover in the search bar. That's extra burgers plus an extra gift that's on the list of any serious grillers. Once again, that's omahasteaks.com. Type Glover into the search bar.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Boardroom, Out of Office Podcasts. My name is Rich Kleiman, and I'm the co-founder of 35 Ventures, alongside my business partner, KD. This show is all about the stories, the successes, and the struggles that have driven my favorite entrepreneurs in sports, business, entertainment, and technology. We're going to be talking to industry leaders about who they are, how they got here, and the things they've learned along the way that you might not expect. So subscribe and listen on Apple Podcasts, radio.com, or wherever you get your podcasts.
97.1 FM Talk. In the marketplace of ideas, the best come out on top. St. Louis's own 97.1 FM Talk. The place for ideas.
What's with these homies missing my girl? Why did they got her from? What did we ever do to these guys that made them so violent? But you know I'm yours, and I know you're mine.
To see the president of a media conglomerate barking orders at his reporters and journalists, telling them what to cover, what not to cover, that's not anything resembling journalism I know. I run an organization with a few dozen reporters. They come to me with facts. They're not yesing me. In fact, they're challenging me. And what Jeff Zucker is doing on these phone calls is telling people what the story is, telling them what not to cover. This is propaganda. And I think in a country where citizens have to exercise their rights and duties, the consent needs to be informed. This is manufacturing consent.
So there you have James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, with their big reveal. They have months of the 9 a.m. internal call at CNN. Dude, Jeff Zucker, is that his name? He says more than anybody in the communications business. Yeah. It's unbelievable. When you're listening to him talking, it's so distracting. Here's one of the tapes that he uncovered here.
Okay, I just want to reemphasize that, I think we cannot normalize what has happened here in the last week with Trump and his behavior. And I go back to what David Chalian said. that this is a president who knows he's losing, who knows he's in trouble, is sick, maybe is on the after effects of steroids or not, I don't know, but he is acting erratically and desperately, and we need to not normalize that. You know, this is what we've come to expect for the last 3.5 years, 4 years, but it clearly is exacerbated by the time that we're in and the issues that he's dealing with. And I think that we cannot just let it be normalized. He is all over the place and acting erratically, and I think we need to lean into that.
So Jeff Zucker there, first, I mean, listening to the way he's prepping his team to cover the president is it makes total sense. Like to know the product that they put out there, and to hear him saying, you know, we need to lean into this idea that he's being erratic. So I'm listening to these and I hear that they've been recording these for months, and I'm like, well, there could be some good stuff on there, because nobody wants their internal meetings. Nobody wants their internal meetings broadcast for everyone to hear. You talk internally. That's different than you would speak publicly about your business. So you think there's going to be some juicy stuff. And it's like if somebody calls you, if they butt dial you and you pick up the phone, do you listen to hear what's going on just in case? Like the off chance that you got butt dialed right when they're about to spill their deepest, darkest secret. You're like, can't hear.
I've never told you this, but I'm drunk right now, so.
So you feel like it's a little voyeuristic to be able to look into those things. I mean, I'm listening to these and they make me mad. They're not really surprising to me. And then CNN tweets out that they feel like this could be a felony, so they've turned it over to the authorities. And then, of course, we just had the Melania tapes that CNN just aired all over the place, which the biggest crime that Melania said in there is I think she dropped an F-bomb because she was saying, I'm trying to do real things here and nobody will cover it, CNN. So I'm like, I don't really think this had the effect that you thought it had.
Right.
And then right after that, what was it? The day after that, Trump got COVID.
Yep.
And it was like, forget about the Melania tapes. Hashtag Melania tapes never even took off. So I don't know if Melania is now going to turn CNN over to the authorities. But let's talk about Project Veritas for a second. First of all, if you're airing these things, I don't want dramatic music behind it.
Ugh.
I don't need you to persuade me that this is serious stuff. And in fact, when you add dramatic music to the background, I'm feeling like it needed a little oomph in order for it to pack the punch that you wanted it to have. Project Veritas, I think that they've done really good work. I think they've also done some just super hyped nonsense. When I hear that there's a quote unquote drop coming out, I'll see what's going on, but I feel like it never lowers the boom that I'm hoping, not expecting, because I don't expect it anymore. I'm going to play one more here from Jeff Zucker as well.
Frankly, if we've made any mistake, it's that our banners have been too polite, and we need to go well after Lindsey Graham. There's a ton going on. Let's stay strong. Let's stay newsy. Let's stay urgent. Let's be smart. There is a lot of news out there, and Lindsey Graham really deserves it.
So I would actually enjoy it more if there was circus music behind it. I think you could do better. I messaged Katie last night. I'm like, did you see Project Veritas is going to do a drop? And you hadn't seen it yet. And then you checked it out. You got the sound. What did you think about it?
Well, initially, whenever you say something like that, I am like, oh, wow, I am very interested to see, because as you just highlighted, they're very secretive, and they go on these missions and they grab information from these intel meetings. And then I listen to it and I'm like, yeah, we know. We get that the president of CNN is going to say, talk smack on Trump. Keep doing it. Put the pressure on. Now do it to Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham supports Trump. Keep talking smack. These are things we already know. We figured it out 4 years ago. So it doesn't really seem like that big of a deal. It really didn't seem like too much was going on. Maybe maybe what's his face, the Project Veritas guy, James O'Keefe, was just bored. I don't know.
I have to say too that I read this later on, and Mike commented this on Facebook. His comment is, "It was priceless when O'Keefe broke into their conference call live.
I did
and announced to them
Yeah.
all that he'd been taping him for months and was going public with it. So he told them on their live call, "Oh, hey guys."
That was good.
Yeah, that was the best video.
That's a good troll. That's funny. It's funny to me, and I don't give a crap if CNN feels violated. We all feel violated, CNN. We all feel violated. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, it wasn't surprising. And like you said, everything they do is very theatrical. So anytime they say they're going to have a bomb drop, it's kind of the boy who cried wolf. You get used to them saying it's going to be the next big thing. And this one would have been more surprising if he would have released tapes with Jeff Zucker saying, you know what, let's just treat this like journalists. Let's just be fair.
Yeah.
This was the opposite of a surprise.
Yeah, and I think too, if and some people are suggesting that maybe he's ramping up. I wouldn't ramp up. I would drop something big and then say there's more and then trickle whatever. But I mean,
people use the word bombshell way too much for things that aren't bombshells. Like, we've got to stop. We've got to stop, because if everything's a bombshell, then nothing is a bombshell. So let it be a bombshell. Let it speak for itself, and it be crazy news.
I can't handle James O'Keefe.
I know what you mean.
He's just like if he's reporting on something in Arizona, and he had something there, and so he went out and stood next to a cactus somewhere. I don't even know if it was an Arizona cactus. How was I supposed to know? It didn't say it was from Arizona, but he stands there and he's in this like leather jacket and he's doing this like slow walk. I'm like, nobody does that. Nobody does that anymore. And it's not about you, or is it?
It is.
Is it about you? And if it is about you, I'm bored.
Yeah, his stuff is he does that constantly, and it's like he's ruining his own information, because if he were to do it exactly the way you said, we'd all be like, wow, that's pretty interesting. But it's hard to look past
Just
the
give me the info.
presentation.
Yeah. And I would say too, I really appreciate that he's out. I mean, he's doing something he's filling a void, a massive void that does not exist in our media. The people who are looking into the background of what's going on. I mean, I don't know the legality of what he did to CNN. I just fail to care, because CNN has done this to other people, and when it's good for CNN's all about it. So I mean, like, whether it's good or not, I'm sorry, CNN, you've lost my ability to be concerned about you specifically. But I appreciate that he's out there looking to expose things. I appreciate that he's out there trying to tell a story that not only is nobody else trying to tell or discover what the truth is. I think that there are activists in the media who are, air quotes, journalists, who are purposely avoiding these stories, where they, who are, card-carrying members of the media, the mainstream media, could get access to this information in less, I don't know if it's nefarious or not, means, and cover it and broadcast it. But they don't do it because they don't want to. They don't want to acknowledge it. I mean, when you think about what Project Veritas did in exposing the Planned Parenthood selling of baby parts, I mean, that was going on. That was happening. And we wouldn't know about it if it weren't for Project Veritas. And I guarantee you, Project Veritas wasn't the first place to get tipped off about that. They were not the first people to be made aware of this heinous process that was taking place. But if nobody else is going to go in on it, I'm grateful for Project Veritas. I just wish I feel like I'm ready for them to graduate to college, or maybe out of college, and level up a little bit, because I don't want the drama. I don't need the drama. The information, like, trust me to know that this is a bombshell when you present me with the information. But that's Looney Tunes talk, because nobody is, asking the media to invest some care and concern and trust in the American individual who's consuming this to be able to process that information on their own. That's silly.
You know what we should do? This is a 2021 resolution for us. I'm just
Find a
announcing
cactus.
it now.
Find a
That we, as the Annie Frey Show, should try to infiltrate Project Veritas, and not to expose anything that they're doing wrong unless we find something.
Seems hard.
But to just show why they do everything
In my mind,
so dramatically.
back in the days of Annie being a digital brand manager, I want to send you on that job and create a highlight reel of you trying to stealthily
oh my gosh,
break into Project Veritas in like a clown costume.
Walking in the front door of, is this Project Veritas? I'm a wealthy business person.
Or just like staying on hold, like what James O'Keefe just did to Zucker. Like you call in, you put it on whatever that's called. I'm what is that called where everybody can listen? Now I'm speaker. Yeah, I'm so stupid.
Zoom?
It's been a long day. You put it on speaker and you're just on hold the whole time.
Yeah. And I just want to walk in the front door and have multiple camera angles of me taking off my glasses and my mustache and just being like, ha
Are the
I've
mustache
got
and the
you
glasses
now.
connected? They have to be.
Yeah, they all can. And the fake nose too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Groucho glasses.
I mean, I'm all for it. If you want to do that, we have no budget, but I support you with moral support, sort of ish. I
Well,
think it'd be good for the
step
show.
one's going to be to find out where their office is with a Google search. I'm a sleuth.
You know how to spell Veritas? You don't want to go to the wrong place.
Well, we'll
You
see.
don't want to
Autocorrect.
infiltrate the wrong place. All right, quick break. We come back. More Annie Frey Show. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with 0% financing for 72 months and Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying equipment when you purchase and install a new HVAC system. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. I've been warning our clients that IRS employees are back at work since mid-July, and their collection efforts have ramped up. Well, sure enough, it looks like it's happening. So if you have unfiled tax returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Tax resolution plans are based off your current income. So if your current income is less than normal due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this is precisely the time for the Lance Drury Law Firm to help you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Air Comfort Service is online at aircomfortservice.com. If your furnace is not pulling its weight, if you notice that it's running an awful lot and your house isn't getting warm like it should be, you probably need to give them a call. Here's the number. Punch it into your phone. Save it for a time when you can make a safe phone call. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Reach out to Air Comfort Service and talk to the wonderful folks there who are going to be very cautious if they have to come into your home. They understand they need to keep you safe. They need to keep themselves safe. Everything is being taken care of for you. If it turns out that you need to get a new furnace, they are wonderful with making sure that they can work with your budget, with the unit that they're going to put in your house. They often have rebates, great financing options available for you as well. Also, don't forget those furnace tune-ups. If you need a tune-up for yours, helps keep the maintenance and the warranty intact. Call them 314-513-0091. Check them out online, aircomfortservice.com.
If you are looking for a home warranty, please check out my friends at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. You know, that maintenance part of their title is extremely important. Most home warranty companies out there want to deny your claim due to lack of maintenance. They claim you haven't been taking care of your equipment over time, so they don't have to help you out. Well, at Upkeep, they completely eliminate that worry by sending their own technicians out to your home 4 times a year to do the general maintenance for you. And if you ever need service done, they will either repair or replace your equipment, and that work is also being done by an Upkeep employee. It's not a third-party contractor trying to upsell you. Their plans are extremely affordable. You can even divide your payments up over the 12 months of the year. And when you use code DGS, you get $100 off your service. To check out all of their different home warranty plans, go to their website, upkeepstl.com. That's upkeepstl.com.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Boardroom, Out of Office Podcasts. My name is Rich Kleiman, and I'm the co-founder of 35 Ventures, alongside my business partner, KD. This show is all about the stories, the successes, and the struggles that have driven my favorite entrepreneurs in sports, business, entertainment, and technology. We're going to be talking to industry leaders about who they are, how they got here, and the things they've learned along the way that you might not expect. So subscribe and listen on Apple Podcasts, radio.com, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project. Add extra storage the stylish way with Dakota Closet Systems. Like a 75 by 61-inch Java wooden wardrobe closet featuring easy-to-install pre-cut components. Perfect for bedrooms, entries, and more. Right now, all Dakota Closet Systems and storage solutions are on sale. Save big on everything now at Menards. Price is good through December 13th. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
All the season's greetings to you all from Menards.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Democrats and their media lapdogs relentlessly attack Donald Trump. And isn't it interesting? Now they are demanding unity and harmony. They want an end to the war on hatred that they themselves waged.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look in the 5 and 10, glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes aglow.
If you haven't
It's
tuned into the
beginning to
Brett
look a
Eldridge
lot
Christmas album, I think it's like maybe 4 years old or so. Ooh, it's a good one. He's a crooner. He's a country singer, but he's actually classically trained. He's from Illinois too, folks. He's got a song called Illinois. Check it out. But it is a very warm and cozy. It sounds like a classic Christmas album, but it's new. So you should check it out. Brett Eldridge. I think the album is Red. I don't know what it's called though.
Glow.
Glow. You do. You know.
Eldridge.
I love
Is
it. I love
Is
it.
he local? Like local? And
No, he's from
Illinois.
like Peoria. Or
Okay.
something around Peoria.
I've heard his name before.
Well, he's a
He's
superstar.
Oh, maybe
He's
that's
famous.
why. Katy Perry. I feel like I've heard that name.
Oh no, that
Her
was
from
Katie Wiggins.
somewhere.
I'm going to talk more about this either tomorrow or Friday. But this is I'm reading from the BND, Belleville News Democrat. Edwardsville ordinance can be fined $25 to $500 for not wearing your mask in Edwardsville, Illinois. This is from BND. Edwardsville officials are getting serious about their mask mandate. The city council passed an ordinance Tuesday night. Is today Wednesday?
Yes.
That's good, because yesterday when I went to Market Basket in Edwardsville, we borrowed my father-in-law's truck. And when we got there, we're like, oh, we don't have our masks because it wasn't our car. So we were shopping for the Christmas trees outside. Highly recommend shopping for a Christmas tree at Market Basket. They hang them from the top. So they're all like, they're hung open. You can see the whole thing. They're not pre-bagged or whatever. So I'm out there and we're walking around and we didn't have masks on. Felt like rebels. And we even said to the guy, we're like, we're sorry, we don't have our masks. We borrowed, like we had to explain ourselves. And the guy was like, I don't care. He didn't care.
Yeah.
We're like, sorry, it's obviously on our conscience. Edwardsville officials are getting serious about their mask mandate. The city council passed an ordinance Tuesday night that provides a way to enforce a November 17th executive order by Mayor Hal Patton requiring people to wear face coverings in public to slow the spread of coronavirus. The ordinance allows violators to be ticketed by local police and fined $25 to $250. In addition, owners or managers of businesses, stores, and venues can be fined $50 to $500 for not enforcing the mandate on their properties. Yeesh. Ward 5 Alderman Will Crow said, quote,
this is for the betterment of our society. And I think it's going in the long run to save many lives and protect us. It's the right thing to do at this moment. The vote was unanimous at 7-0, with most aldermen voting via Zoom. So, okay, in Edwardsville, wear your mask or pony up. I mean, I'm a mask wearer. I'm not opposed to wearing masks, but good grief. I wonder what I have to find what the ordinance actually is specifically to make sure I know where and when. And if it's just Edwardsville, I mean, I don't know, shop in Alton or Bethalto or Godfrey or something instead. It's just ridiculous. And I love Edwardsville. It's like where I grew up.
Honestly, what is to prevent you from just, not to be dramatic about it, but not paying it or just tearing the ticket up? I mean, are they just going to keep coming after you over and over?
That's a good point.
Because then you start to talk about where's the legality of it. It might go up to the city council again, or whoever just voted 7-0 on it. But then above them, as far as I know, there's a lot of legal challenges to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're saying rip up the ticket?
This is what I would like to know. And I mean, 314-241-9797. If you're a police officer and you want to remain anonymous, we don't have to give your name. But how do police feel about being put into the position to walk up and start? When you create a police force in a community, you need to create a relationship where that community trusts you and relies on you and counts on you. And I remember when this all first started, asking a lot of police officers over here that I have relationships with, like, how does this work? Like, how are you going to enforce any of this? And they're like, we can't. There's nothing to enforce. And it basically came down to their responsibility is to keep the peace. So if you walk into a business and they say, oh, I'm sorry, you need to you need to wear a mask, and you refuse to, and I mean, there's a keeping the peace element there that they could enforce if that's what needs, but they don't. Like, it was 100% across the board. We do not want to be in the middle of this. We do not want to bear the burden, the responsibility of getting ourselves in the middle of this situation and take huge steps backwards in what we've tried to do, what they're always trying to do, to build that relationship with the people in their community. They don't want to be those people. And the biggest reason is because it didn't seem as though they had the teeth to do it. I'm looking right now for the mandate. Like, if you're in a business, I mean, it just seems like if you're going to go in a business and they're requiring you to wear masks, you wear a mask, or you don't go into that business.
Think about all of the police officers too, and the states that were saying they wouldn't do what people were advocating for, which on Thanksgiving, they were saying, if you see your neighbor having this many people or more, call the police and snitch on them. There were probably so many officers that were just like, no, we have actual crimes that are happening. We have actual criminals we need to go out there and catch. And you're calling on your neighbor because they had 11 people instead of 10 at a Thanksgiving dinner. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. I would never want to put someone in that position, nor would I want to be in that position.
Yeah, it's not good for anybody. I mean, I can see how you could say, is there a need here to slow the spread? I don't see how enforcing this in one community surrounded by a bunch of other communities that are not enforcing it. I mean, maybe they're trying to be the leader here and guide other municipalities into following them. But I just, I don't know if it's going to have the effect that you intend it to. And I don't understand, like, as Vicky says on Facebook, it's not a law to penalize people. I mean, if you go against an ordinance, you can be, if your grass gets too tall, you can be fined for that. And that's not, there's no law that says how tall your grass can or can't be. So, what's the solution? I don't know what the solution is, but I don't feel as though this is the way. I don't feel like the enforcement of this is going to go over well. I don't think people are going to want to enforce it this way. Police officers are going to be put into a position that they don't want to be in. And it's going to cause a problem to arise that maybe wasn't there as much before. Not to mention the fact that some of these businesses, they're fining businesses now too. You can get fined $500 for not enforcing mask mandates.
Wow.
As a business.
That's
I
crazy.
don't know.
I just can't believe that if we had said to each other in March or April or May or June, hey, you know what? By Christmas, we're definitely still going to be dealing with this. And it's not just going to be that we're dealing with the pandemic. We're going to be dealing with constant business shutdowns that have been maybe even worse than they were at the beginning. And people are going to be fighting against them, and the law will still not be determined. Like, nobody would have believed that.
No.
But we're still here, and we don't know. It's like we're all waiting for this vaccine to come, and that's going to be the cure-all, except that the vaccine will be a cure for the disease. We will have not solved any of these legal and social problems that we've caused from this. They might be swept under the rug. They might go away. Hopefully they do, but we will have not solved them. That's what is concerning.
The November mandate that's now being forced with this ticketing situation. This is what it says. This is from KSDK, Channel 5. As part of the declaration, the city has instated the following mandates effective immediately. Everyone must wear a face mask when they can't maintain a physical distance of at least 6 feet from people outside of their immediate household. That does not determine inside or outside. Children ages 2 and under should not wear a mask due to suffocation risk. There are also exceptions for people with mental health, medical conditions, or disabilities that prevent them from wearing a face covering, the hearing impaired, or people who communicate with them who require seeing the mouth to communicate, people who are running or walking while maintaining social distance, and people who are eating and drinking. Businesses must provide hand sanitation at every entrance, which must be used by all staff and guests. All businesses such as fitness facilities, retail centers, office buildings, and convenience stores are limited to 25% of normal occupancy. Grocery stores and pharmacies are limited to 50% of normal occupancy. I mean, it is like doesn't deter. If you're like outside and do you have to wear a mask outside now too? I mean, it just seems to me like the science is very very picky.
Where is the science?
It's like you pick and
Science.
choose what you want to pay attention to. Gosh.
I mean, at what point do we say, okay, this strategy didn't work? I would have thought that would have been by now, but we're not there. We just keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's not working.
Well, let's post this conversation up on the Facebook page, and I'd love to get more reaction from people who are having to deal with this, and potentially this will continue to happen in other possibilities in other municipalities as well, and will they see an effect in it? Will it actually make a difference? I mean, especially with a place like Edwardsville or any cities that are in St. Louis County, that you don't know when one starts and one stops. So it's like to suggest that you're going to really dramatically affect the way this is happening. It's just like the border between Missouri and Illinois. People in Illinois have been dining in Missouri for quite some time now. We thank you for your restaurants, especially in St. Charles County. Man, you can wear, don't not wear masks just to be a jerk.
Yeah, right.
Be courteous, be respectful, be responsible. I have no problem with mask wearing. But again, where does the authority come from to do this? I very much so question it. Thanks for listening today. Check out the podcast at radio.com or anywhere you get your podcast. Just search Andy Frey Show Podcast. You'll find us. We'll be there. The Dave Glover Show coming up next.
So beat the